I mean, technically, I guess I could. Now, that's my quote of the day. I mean, it's not my quote of the day. It's just a quote that I saw, and it just intrigued me. So, ladies and gentlemen, later on, during the MJ Morning Show, I will delve into the intriguing sentence, I can do my job from my toilet. Okay.
Yeah, I guess you really could. I mean, if you had the equipment.
Technically.
You could, I guess.
We all
And
could,
most people can because they do their work from their phone.
Do my job from my toilet. All right, hang on. We'll explain it all coming up on the MJ Morning Show. Hey, Fester, I see you get your lightning hat on.
Yeah, how'd they do last night? I fell asleep.
They lost.
Oh, well, take the damn thing off.
What was it? Was it 3-2? Yesterday was the home opener for the Lightning, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they played the Philadelphia Flyers.
Yeah, would they get 2 weeks off?
Yeah. Hey,
I know, right?
Can you check quickly? Hey, Andrew, what was the score last night? Was it 3-2? Was that it? Or
Yes.
so the Flyers won 3-2. You know, the Lightning have not done very well. That was the home opener last night, and the previous games. What they have 3 prior games to last night? Were they all on the road? Was that it?
Yeah.
So I think it was the 4th game of the season. The Lightning not doing extremely well. I don't look at Tampa Bay sports in general right now. You know, the Bucks are losing to teams like the Steelers. You've got the
Rays had a disappointing postseason.
Rays got eliminated, and then the Lightning. I just don't think this is going to be a very good season for the Lightning. I think it's going to be I think this season's going to be a real.
It's been one game.
Oh, one home game.
Dude, they've already played a number of games. They haven't done very well.
I know. I knew that.
I think you did not. And listen, I'm not even a sports expert over here, but I mean, so far, the Lightning not off to a great start. Now, I realize it's ridiculously early in the season, but it just seems that the cycle is turning against us. Because remember what? Just a year ago or 2 years ago? I mean, everyone was in the hunt. I mean, the Lightning were champs. You had the Rays, which looked like they were headed, to the World Series, right?
They went to the World Series against the Dodgers.
What, was it 2 years ago?
And that was 2020, the shutdown year.
Right,
Yeah, but
okay.
did it really happen? Because
Right.
it was the COVID year.
Right.
Not a lot of people
Yeah,
saw
really?
everything
Oh,
in person.
and
Maybe
then-
it was just a dream.
And then the Buccaneers. And then now we're in a cycle of suck.
We're sucked. It was Tampa Bay. Now we're
Sucka Bay.
Now we're Crampa Bay.
You know what?
We got a whole bunch of cramps going on here.
I got a cramp. Grandpa Bay.
I got or Grandpa Bay.
Grandpa
Yeah.
Bay.
That's good.
It's Grandpa Bay.
My favorite. Hello.
It's Grandpa Bay. Welcome, folks. It is the MJ Morning Show. My name is MJ. I got Roxanne over here. I got Fester. I've got Froggy. Hey, did I ever ascertain what was on the note that you were writing, Roxanne, and then Fester shoved it in his mouth? Well, now, Fester, that was a very odd thing for you to take Roxanne's note.
Okay.
And for you to take her note. All right, folks, if you don't know what's going on, this is the beginning of the show here on Wednesday. And Roxanne, you were noticeably ticked off about something.
Oh.
Then I saw that you had written some kind of a note to show Fester.
I think Fester wrote the note.
Yes, and this is how rumors get started because Fester was the note writer.
Just let him go.
Hang on, listen.
Let him go, Roxanne. Let him go.
No, don't let me go.
No, let him go.
I'm trying to correct you as you're telling the story.
That's fine. Correct me. Spank me. Correct me. That didn't sound right. All right, so I want to know the real story. Yesterday during the show, Roxanne, you got all perturbed about something. Then I noticed there was some kind of a note going back and forth. I thought you had written a note. What was it all about? Can somebody...
It was related to flying, and you said it was about seats going back on a plane. And then
I was complaining about on Thursday last week, flying up to Connecticut to my son's parents' weekend, I had a seat flinger. And a seat flinger is the person in front of you that doesn't look, they don't care, they push the recline button on their seat, and they go, whoom! And they just fling that seat back at full velocity. That is a seat flinger, and I had a seat flinger on my flight on Thursday. So we're talking about that, and then you brought up.
Right, and then I said, I've never been flung on a flight. And then Fester wrote a little something because we do have the Fester and Roxanne written commentary going on over here sometimes. Sometimes
I don't know. So instead of saying things on the air, you guys are just passing notes back and forth like you're in 7th grade.
Do you want to
Pretty
go dance with me? Circle, yes.
So
or
hold
no.
on a second. Hold on, all of you guys, listen.
Yeah.
If it's appropriate for air, I always say it. However, many of my snarky comments are not approved for air.
All right, so you wrote something down. I
Yes.
thought Roxanne had written something
Right.
down.
So-
and then I'm like, show me the note.
Roxanne-
Show me the note. Did you bring enough gum for everybody? Show me the note. I'm just remembering crap
Yeah,
from
you did.
6th and 7th grade. All right, so Fester, you then took the note and you balled it up and you shoved it in your mouth to start chewing it.
Well, no. That wasn't my
And
first.
then I instructed Froggy to retrieve it, so Froggy actually stuck his fingers in your mouth, which was maybe one of the grossest things I've ever seen.
Listen, I had to get the job done.
Then you bit down on Froggy's finger, and Froggy's finger, might be infected now because I think you broke the skin like a dog.
It is changing colors slowly.
Yeah. All right, so I only got a minute here. What did the note say?
I can't tell you.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, what?
What did the note say?
He ate it. You think he's going to tell you?
It is a completely private A-B conversation. So you can see your way out of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it.
Oh, it's an A-B conversation. So what's an A-B conversation? Oh, it's A-B-C-U. What is it? What?
see your way out.
Man, this is really going grade school.
I mean, Tim, you want to talk about a juvenile? No, MJ. I made a comment to Roxanne about the possibilities of her getting flung on a plane,
Right.
because that was the joke that we said on the air. What I wrote to her was not appropriate for our broadcast.
It was
hence the note. She had a small chuckle out of it. I balled it up, which I do to all my notes, and then you heard me crinkle the paper. And then
Right.
you heard
That's
the,
okay.
you heard the cranker.
So why the hell won't you tell me what was on the note?
It was a stupid joke about Mile High Club.
Whoa.
Something like that.
Oh, hold on. Listen.
It sounds like an HR issue.
It does. It sounds like an HR violation.
Let's not throw around the word stupid and my jokes in the same sentence, okay?
Okay. It was a
Fester,
silly.
you wrote down a sex joke?
I can't.
Dude, what is wrong with you?
I can't confirm or
You
deny.
realize that will be used. Roxanne might be all laughy all of a sudden here, but that's an HR. When things go south, that's an HR issue.
Okay,
She's keeping a file.
You understand?
She's got a file going on.
I haven't hung pictures up in the office because I'm an HR issue, okay? I don't listen. Every day's my last day, okay?
Mr. Weinstein.
Yeah, listen, I'm not worried about any of this.
Why is that plant sitting right next to you?
Fester Weinstein. About the same body type.
I wish. I wish I looked that good.
All right, just getting rolling. Hey, we're back in a minute. It's a pretty busy Wednesday here on the MJ Morning Show. You don't want to miss a moment. Stand by. Traffic's on. Here's Pat. Hey, Pat.
Watch out if you normally make it through the intersection of Sly and 56 this time of the morning, because we have an accident there now.
Wednesday morning. And did we mention this, like 2 days ago, Roxanne? Was it like Monday?
It was Monday towards the end of the show.
Monday toward the end of the program, and I said something about snow crabs and like the season being canceled or something. You remember what I said?
You said, oh, you're not going to believe what's going on with snow crabs.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you what. If you look at crab leg prices, like Costco or like Restaurant Depot, the price of crab legs were going up crazily. And I remember I was commenting. I think it was at Restaurant Depot, and I saw the price for crab legs, and I said, what is going on? There was like a manager or an employee, and they said, yeah, crab, this is like 8 months ago. I'm like, what's going on with crab leg prices? And they said, yeah, going through the roof. In fact, we've had numerous customers buying lots and lots of crab legs over the last couple of months. So it seems that people knew that crab leg prices were going up, and you must have had a lot of restaurant owners that were stocking up on crab legs.
Well, it is the world's most deadliest job.
Well, that's the king crab. Well, I guess it's all tough because those crab fishermen, like the deadliest catch.
Yeah.
You know, those guys, because they do multiple.
They do all the crabs.
Yeah, they do the king crabs.
Yeah, whatever gets in their net.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of different crabs that they. No.
Why is it so deadly?
Dude.
It's not whatever they get. There's different areas.
There's different seasons. Fester, you're just blurting the crap out. You have no idea what you're talking about.
If a blue
I got a king crab, a snow crab, and a blue crab all in one net.
I don't know.
You've got no idea.
They catch it all, though.
Well, stop blurting. You're just blurting stuff. You have no idea. Oh, now Fester slams.
This is a radio show where we joke back and forth. And you stop blurting.
No, because you're
I'm the blurter here.
No, because
I'm the blurter.
Because you're like you're trying to add something factual to the that wasn't funny.
I add nothing factual to the show at any time.
I thought it was funny.
And you rarely do.
It's like whatever you catch in the net. No, there are different.
That was funny. Whatever you catch in the net.
There are different seasons for the different crabs.
Speaking of crabs, I gotta go.
All right, Fester's gonna leave. Okay. Anyway, here's the
Give me a coffee.
Okay, can I interrupt? Why is it so dangerous?
Why is what so dangerous?
What?
Because the seas, it's like they're fishing out on like 18-foot seas, and the wind is like people are getting flung overboard.
Because 1 in every 7 of them die, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it is.
Oh my gosh, no wonder
Hey, Froggy, I don't think
that's a blurt.
That's a blurt. I don't think it's that bad. I don't think
1 in every 4. Probably.
I don't think 1 in every 7 crew members.
You're a greenhorn. You're probably going to die. Welcome to the boat.
I don't think it's 1 in 7 or 1 in 4, but
it's a lot.
That's why they call it the deadliest catch. Because it's a very dangerous job. You're out on the Bering Sea. You're in this horrific conditions.
So they should be expensive.
Yeah, they should be. Was that a Mark Wahlberg movie?
No, that's
the perfect storm.
That's the perfect storm. That's the East Coast.
No crabs.
Yeah, no crabs there. I think they're fishing for cod or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever the hell they're fishing from the North Atlantic.
Sailfish.
Whatever. Anyway, the deal is that Alaska's snow crab season has been canceled.
Wow, that's really tough.
I mean, canceled.
Can't be good for the TV show.
Well, the TV show is King Crab. So I don't know about the king crab season.
But I know when I watch that show, and I like that show, and something goes wrong, they miss a day or something, it's the end of the world. So to miss a season, these guys are going to jump off of bridges.
There's a plummeting population of snow crabs. If you think that snow crab prices and snow crab legs, if you think that it's been going up crazily over the last year and a half, oh my God, wait until now. Because the whole damn Alaska season has been canceled, and you're going to have hundreds of crabbers are not going to be able to work.
Wow.
And they're saying that like 1 billion snow crabs have like disappeared. And they're like saying, where do they go? Did they go somewhere else? But there is like a schnit ton of crabs that are missing.
Move?
This is a giant mystery.
It's a crab mystery.
What happened to the snow crabs? Where'd they go?
Well, if you think about it, if they were smart, they would get together and go, hey, guys, you know what? Let's move. I'm tired of getting caught.
Yeah, I'm tired of getting my legs ripped off.
Yeah, I mean, seriously.
And
Did you hear
ending
about
up-
my cousin Bob?
Ending up on some kind of buffet somewhere.
He got taken to a buffet. That's not going to happen to me. Let's go.
Where are the snow crabs? Where did like 1 billion snow crabs go?
That's weird. So the spots that they were at every season, they probably have their spots and they're always there. They're all just gone.
Yeah, maybe they finally wised up and they said, you know
We're
what?
out of here.
You know what? My whole family was taken last year and the year
Yeah.
before. I'm getting out of here.
They broke the generational cycle.
I see a Pixar movie in this.
Yeah, the season was expected to like kick off now, but the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration Fisheries, they found a total lack of adult crabs available for harvest. So the whole damn season's been canceled. And I saw a number that there were like 1 billion crabs that they think are missing. And where the hell did they go?
Just catch stingrays and use their fins.
Well, that's a good idea, but also there's always
Hold on, what the hell did you just say?
Well, isn't that sometimes when you order some sort of like gator meat or some sort of specialty meat,
Right.
they end up just giving you a slice of a stingray fin and say it's gator?
I haven't heard that.
Really?
I mean, there's certainly enough gators to get real gator meat. I mean,
My buddy told me that he was eating thought he ordered gator or something and he got stingray fin. I was like, ugh.
Ew.
sounds like
You know
that's
what?
kind of chewy. Hold on, stingray fin.
Yeah, just like their fins. People eat those.
You mean the body?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Well,
all right,
yeah,
all right.
everything but the
All right.
barb, I
Yeah.
guess.
When we go to the restaurants now, instead of ordering snow crab, we can order imitation crab.
Right.
Is that not
Stingray.
one of the most gross? I'm not trying to be snooty,
Yeah.
but imitation crab.
What's that?
Well,
Okay, it's
it-
made from something called surimi, and it's just fish paste.
Can you say apocalypse?
No.
Say apocalypse.
When there's an apocalypse, I'll have nothing to eat but surimi. But
Roxanne,
it's
Roxanne cannot say the word apocalypse. It's a
There's somebody making fake crab meat?
that's imitation crab. It's made from surimi.
It's made from like pollockers.
It's finely shredded pulverized fish.
It's like whitefish. But for instance, when you get a California roll, when you go to first of all, that's not
I
authentic.
love it. I love a tail hanging out of my sushi.
I don't get when I go to I don't have California rolls. Come on.
Tampa rolls are good.
No, I don't see. I'm not into the I don't like all the sushi rolls with that's drowned in sauces
That's what I
and,
like.
So
and
good.
mayonnaise. No, it's not.
Yes, it is. That's what makes it good.
No,
What do you take a bite out of a fish?
Guys,
Just a fresh fish?
You want real fish on sushi, and nigiri is high quality fish.
No, I like the fake stuff.
No, I don't want the what is the Tampa roll, like fried?
It's fried grouper,
And-
mayonnaise.
And by the way, first of all,
so good.
that was a big racket for years that you were not getting real grouper.
Tilapia.
You were getting some just generic whitefish.
Tilapia is
And
fine.
That was a sushi bar kind of scam for years. That locally you were not getting grouper, and I don't know if that's been cracked down on. But for years at sushi bars around Florida, you were getting some kind of generic whitefish fried. It was not actual grouper.
Stingray fin.
Yeah. So I don't know about that, but but no, that's the truth, and I don't know if that's been cracked down on, if that's corrected, but also. Like, what is the fried crab leg roll?
Oh, it's so good. I like to
guys,
get eel sauce
that's
on mine.
that's a spider roll, I think, right?
Guys, just
Buccaneer roll is good.
sushi and sashimi is high quality fish.
How about a Mexican roll?
Not all. I don't want any of that stuff.
I want to go to Yoko's right now.
Listen, Yoko's is fantastic. All
Are
right.
they open for breakfast?
Yoko's is a great restaurant. I've been going to Yoko's for years, but the bottom line is I'm not into all the Americanized crazy rolls. I like my sushi, just that sushi, fresh fish.
You think you're better than me because of this?
Now, the fish on top of rice, that's called nigiri. And then if you just have slices of fish, that's called sashimi.
That's called being stuck on an island and just to kill a fish. That's not pleasurable.
I'm just not into all the crazy rolls. And every sushi bar It's the Americanized sushi.
Oh, that's the best.
Like when you go to Japan, there's no California roll.
What?
There's no California roll,
All right, I'm not going.
Which is typically what? It's like avocado, and it's the fake crab stick.
Yeah, it's hard to find spicy mayo in Japan, too.
But if you ever get like a real like crab roll with real crab meat, or if you get a California roll here in the United States, there are some sushi bars that will do it with real crab meat and not that fake machine-pressed red and white fish.
Crab meat with a K.
Fish stick or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever the heck it is.
You're the type of guy that likes to watch your sushi crawl across the plate.
Dude, listen, I've eaten sushi that's moving. When it's
I bet.
served to you,
Ew.
it's like you get
Dude, you're
some
an animal.
You get some of the clams, the fresh clams. You get like mirugai, which that's typically boiled, but there are some sushi items that I had that are still moving. And that's some good stuff. I like great high quality omakase where
What'd you call me?
I said omakase, which
Oh.
it's pretty much chef's choice. I think it translates into trust me.
What?
Where the chef, where you go, omakase sushi bars, or where you sit down, and they're typically pretty expensive, but the chef, you don't order from a menu, you just get whatever they serve you.
Give him the cheapest crap. He's a schnit. Who cares?
And there are some great places around the country for great omakase. No, but listen, I'm not into all the crazy rolls with like 12 ounces of mayonnaise on my roll.
Oh,
It doesn't do it for me.
You don't like soy sauce?
No, soy sauce is okay. You dip but also another thing with sushi is people put way too much soy sauce in their little soy sauce bowl.
Oh, I drown it.
Well, that's the point.
I let my sushi sit in it for like a minute and just soak it to the top.
I think we're done with fish.
Where's Fester? Fester's still gone.
Yeah, Fester's angry.
Fester missed like 10 blurts from all of us.
And this all stemmed from the fact that like snow crabs have disappeared and Alaska has canceled snow crab season, which I don't think that's going to affect the imitation crap that they jam in the California rolls.
Good.
All right, 6:32. It's the MJ Morning Show, and I got a great pile of morons in the news next. So hold on, the morons are next on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Now I want you to vote. right, you got the MJ Morning Show on Q105, and ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the early Morons of the News. Remember Flashdance? Remember this song?
Of course. Love it.
Why is this song significant, folks, as we get into the early Morons of the News?
I mean,
Why was this song significant?
I know why.
What a feeling. Come on. Yeah, the two greatest interns ever in the history of the MJ Morning Show.
I mean, the two greatest.
Yeah, Lamosa and Kristen. Of course, Kristen was the Flashdance girl when we auditioned for American Idol.
That's right.
Yeah. Was it 2 or 3? I think it was season 3.
It was when the show was super hot.
Yeah, and we totally wambookied American Idol. We had 2 interns concoct the whole act. And, man, they got through all the rounds. I think, were they in Atlanta? I think they were in Atlanta to audition.
We sent them to Atlanta like 3 times.
Yeah. And they kept getting called back because Kristen was doing the Flashdance song. She had like 1980s leg warmers on, and she was terrible, but it was deliberate. And she was just with American Idol. You've got the really great singers. They put the great singers through. And then also you got to have, for comedic relief, you got to have the really bad singers. And we knew that we were going to try to get on American Idol with a really bad singer. We were the first morning show to do a fake planted act, and it was included on American Idol. And, they auditioned back in August. Oh, Fester's back. Hey, welcome back, Fester. Is your tantrum over?
No tantrum.
Well, you left for 10 minutes.
Okay, first
you walked out.
It was closer to 8.5 minutes.
Whatever.
And I made a nice pot of coffee for everybody.
Great.
Thank you.
Heard you talk about your crab situation.
Anyway, so Kristen and Lamosa did the whole American Idol fake-out deal with a fake bad act, and they made it all the way through, and then we had to wait for months because the season debuted in January of that year, and we had to wait from August and September for the callbacks to find out if we made it on the show. So we're sitting there just watching American Idol, and bam, we made it.
The first segment of the first return episode of the second or third season.
Season 3, it was incredible. So whenever I hear Flashdance, and I use that as our Morons in the News intro music today. All right, here we go. Morons in the News. Just weird stuff today. Couple of things that have been in my pile that I haven't gotten to in the last couple of days. Listen to this one. This is new. A woman threatened to stab her husband to get his other personality out.
Okay, well, there are other ways to do that, but
Yeah.
she was trying to get rid of one of the personalities or
Yeah.
draw out another.
No. Well, isn't that the same?
No,
No.
Was she trying to subtract or use addition in the personality department?
Yeah.
A Utah woman was arrested after she called police to report her husband had hit her. Officers with the Smithfield, Utah Police Department, they show up to this domestic violence call. The woman told them that her husband struck her during a violent psychotic episode, right? The arresting officer wrote that Rochelle Klingo Walker,
Klingo, what a good name.
Clingo,
Yeah,
Klingo,
Yeah.
35-year-old woman, reported that her husband had struck her on the right arm and left side. Police got a different story from Walker's husband, who reportedly produced a video of the incident. He rolled video. Listen, everyone's got a camera these days, man. Everyone's got a camera phone.
Attaboy.
So in the video, Rochelle is trying to bring out the victim's other personality by speaking in incantations, according to the officer's probable cause affidavit. Police reported the video showed Walker holding onto her husband's arm and proceeds to grip his arm tighter, cutting into his hand with her nails.
Okay, can you back up?
In order to allow this other bad personality, she's trying to pierce his skin to get his other bad personality out.
Okay, so she's trying to subtract. So let me ask you this. You said a word just now. I've never heard that word. She was speaking in what?
Incantations.
The power of Christ compels you.
Oh, okay.
Like that?
Oh, gotcha.
So, Fester, bring up the actual Merriam-Webster definition of incantations.
Was he speaking in tongue? Was he like, stop scratching me?
Now that's some crazy stuff. Incantation, a series of words said as a magic spell or charm.
She was casting a spell on him?
Yeah, I don't know what the hell she was doing.
Just a series of random words?
But like
No. Like
Bibbidi bobbidi boo.
yeah, that kind of stuff. Like you're casting a spell on somebody. Not like
Zippity doo dah to you.
That's not exactly
Abracadabra.
Hold on.
Abracadabra.
Bippity boppity boo. Was that in a movie?
Yes, Cinderella.
That was Cinderella?
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, but how about the people that speak in tongues? That whole
That's not incantation.
No. The speaking in tongues, that's like a sort of like a Pentecostal thing, isn't it?
You're going to piss off my other personality, honey.
Yeah, don't scratch me.
Anyway, so I never heard of that. She wanted to like pierce the guy's skin to get his other personality out, like evil spirit come out.
Why not
You know?
get the spirit out through his butt? There's like an opening there. You don't have to scratch him out.
So you
There's a
got-
couple openings about.
So you got other orifices, right?
Of course.
He could have pulled it out of his ear.
All
Yeah.
Yeah.
all the various holes.
Put like a straw in his belly button. Suck
All
it
right,
right out.
you ready for the Pasco County Mom of the Month? Who wants to talk about the Pasco County Mom of the Month here on the MJ Morning Show?
All right, so hold on. Our new Mother of the Month award is now being sectioned off by county?
Yes.
Or is she just a contender for a county and we'll have one Bay Area winner?
Why don't you work on that? Let me just give you the contender
Devil's
here.
in
We'll work at
details,
it
dude.
together.
Yeah, I'll pass you a note.
A Pasco County woman is accused of child abuse. Why? Her 4-year-old boy was found with Xanax and NyQuil in his body, in his system.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you know what? This really ticks me off when you hear about, parents that try to like subdue their kids or, put their kids out, giving them even over-the-counter medicine like Benadryl. Oh, man, I'm going to Benny the kids. You've heard that before.
Oh yeah.
There are parents that will give the kids Benadryl when they don't really need it just to kind of make them tired and put them out.
We don't even like giving the kids melatonin and
No,
stuff.
I don't use. I know
Who
a lot
would
of.
do that? I'd be afraid the kid would overdose
I
or
know
something.
a lot of parents do that.
But also
But I'm
melatonin,
afraid of that.
melatonin's come under scrutiny lately.
Yeah, it has.
So careful with the melatonin. This woman in Pasco County accused of child abuse after a 4-year-old boy under her care was found covered in bruises, and testing showed that Xanax and NyQuil was in his system.
Gosh.
According to the arrest report from the Pasco County Sheriff's Office, Brianna Snigowski, SNIEGOWSKI, 31, responsible for the child's well-being. When when the child was rushed to the hospital, deputies said that the child was undergoing episodes of in and out of consciousness, multiple visible injuries. Deputies said the boy told him that Snigowski allegedly shoved him into the edge of the bathroom counter because she was mad at him, and also told detectives that Snigowski hit him several times while daddy wasn't home. According to the arrest report, a toxicology test showed the boy had significant amounts of NyQuil and Xanax in his system. And she admitted to giving the child NyQuil and being irresponsible with how she stored her Xanax prescription. Anyway, it sounds to me like, was this like an attempt to put the kid out?
Yeah, she's trying to knock the kid out.
Yeah.
She's trying to give him everything she
I
can.
I mean, that's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's
sounds like it.
I don't know if those are the facts, what the investigation is going to show, but man, it has the earmarks of that. All right, so who
When
the
you
heck
first
knows?
did it, I thought you were talking like he got into her stuff or her stash, but if it's NyQuil.
Hey, if you're at a restaurant and you order chicken and they kind of botch your order, what do you do?
Burn down the place.
I mean, that's really the appropriate response.
All right, hold on to that thought.
Okay.
You guys might be barking up the right tree.
All right.
Oh, geez, I was just making a
All
joke.
right, all right,
See-
you nailed it, okay?
What?
All right, yes, you nailed it. All right, hold on a minute. When we get back with chunk 2, yes, if a restaurant screws up your order, clearly the only recourse you have is to burn the freaking place to the ground. Light a fire, set the place on fire. All right, hold on. We'll explain the whole story as Morons in the News continue Next, the early edition here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Stand by. Hey, I want to talk to you about Steve and Elizabeth Holland. Now, the Holland Group retirement... MJ and the crew here. All right, so Festa, what was the key word of the day here? Oh, this is not a contest. This is not. Don't text this word anywhere. That happens in an hour. All right, I'm going to give you the actual rock the cash box word in 1 hour at 8:00. Now, what is the early keyword, which has nothing to do with the contest, but what is the word of the day for the sake of this conversation, Fester? I said it just a few minutes ago.
That's right, you did.
Come on.
Was it proportionate?
Dude, you laughed and commented. It's
appropriate?
Disproportionate.
Disproportionate.
Oh, my God. What
Damn
is it? Dude, you need to get an MRI.
Dude.
I'm telling you. We need to get you scanned.
I'll take one right now.
You got to. We need to send you to one of these radiology centers, man, because you need a brain scan.
Okay, it's disproportionate, not proportionate. I'm way off.
The word. Well, there are two different meanings.
Okay, but
the meanings are drastic.
I was 3 letters off. The dis.
The meanings are drastically different.
In fact, completely opposite.
That's what a suffix will do.
Totally different. Okay.
Or a prefix.
Prefix, thank you.
So, everybody, the word right now is disproportionate. Now,
did Froggy guess it?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
So, Froggy, when I was teasing this item a few minutes ago, I said something to the effect, what do you do if a restaurant gets your order wrong? And you said?
Burn it down. Jokingly.
Well, you kind of nailed the correct answer there. All right, this happened up in New York. Man, this is so crazy. And the surveillance video that caught the guy on video it's like perfect. It's like they were filming a TV show. I mean, that's how good this surveillance video is. It happened up in New York City. It happened in the borough of Queens in the Jackson Heights area. A Queens dude set a Bangladeshi restaurant on fire because they got his order wrong. He was ordering a traditional Bangladeshi savory rice dish.
Okay, sounds delicious.
It's called biryani.
Oh, yeah.
Biryani?
Biryani, right? Biryani. So are there any Bangladeshis listening right now? Listen, we can ask for all kinds of crazy crap and the phones ring. If there's any Bangladeshi listening to the MJ Morning Show right now, call us up and tell me if I'm pronouncing the biryani chicken and rice dish properly.
It's most frequent. Iraq, Thailand, and Malaysia is where they serve it, and it's very popular.
All right. Well, apparently it's popular in Bangladesh as well because it was a Bangladeshi restaurant. All right. So if you're Bangladeshi, if you're from Bangladesh, 800-990-1047.
There's a restaurant called Biryani House in Temple Terrace.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Well, hold on.
They've got it there.
So look at this. Place of origin, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan. So there's a biryani. Where is it?
In the name.
Oh, it's the Hyder Abada Biryani House in Temple Terrace. Anyway, if you're Bangladeshi, call up right now. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. All right, so here's what happens. This guy is out of his freaking mind. How do you say that in Bangladeshi? So, and then the story's got a crazy disposition as well, because you've heard about the problems with law enforcement up in New York. This is a classic example. You're not going to believe what happened here. So the dude goes to this Bangladeshi restaurant up in Queens, New York. He orders chicken biryani. The suspect says, they did not give me chicken biryani.
Oh, no.
The guy, as he's accepting his order and he looks at it, he opens it up, and it's the wrong dish. He first throws the takeout box with the chicken biryani. He throws it at the employee at the restaurant, throws it at the face of the employee. Then, you know what this guy did? He brought a bucket of gas.
Oh, no.
Back.
Just a bucket, huh?
Hold on, let me look at the picture.
This
Oh my
guy-
God, it's a white 5-gallon bucket.
The guy has a white
paint bucket.
5-gallon bucket.
Yeah, paint
a
bucket.
plastic bucket. He's got the bucket filled with gas, and at 6 a.m. the next morning. All right, so at night, the previous evening, he orders the chicken beer. Do we have a Bangladeshi on the phone? Oh, hang on. Well, that's good enough for me.
We'll take it.
Hold on a sec. Hi, good morning. It's MJ. Who's this?
Good morning, MJ. My name is Tammy.
All right, so Tammy, you're not Bangladeshi, but you were married to the Bangladeshi guy for 12 years?
Yes, sir. I was married and I lived there for 4 years of my life.
Oh, you lived in Bangladesh.
Yes, sir, I did.
It sounds like you're calling from Bangladesh right now. It sounds. All right,
I know.
yeah, your
I'm
phone.
in Tampa. I'm in Tampa traffic right now.
Okay, no problem. All right, so am I pronouncing the chicken dish? Is it biryani? How do you pronounce it?
So it's actually chicken biryani.
All right, hold on.
Biryani.
Say it slowly. Say it again.
So it's chicken biryani.
Chicken biryani.
Biryani.
Biryani. All right. Now,
You got it right.
do Bangladeshis have tempers?
Yes.
Yeah, banging everything around.
All right, so if you order the dish and they give you the wrong one at a restaurant, you think it's commonplace for a customer to get angry and throw the food at the face of the employee at the store?
I would say yes. Some of them do have really bad tempers. I know mine was.
And then what? Oh, hold on. So your ex-Bangladeshi husband had a bad temper?
Oh, did he ever? He was fire.
He was fire?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what we're talking
Bang
about.
the wifey?
So Tammy
And I don't. He had a really bad attitude, a really
Wow.
bad temper. I mean,
and Tammy, did you get remarried?
together no more. I did actually.
And how did that one work out after the Bangladeshi dude?
I actually stood with my own race, Hispanic, and he passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Bummer.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear. Hey, Tammy, thanks for helping me out with the. Say it again.
Biryani.
Biryani. Hey, Tammy, thanks for listening. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Thank you. You guys have an awesome show.
Thank you.
You have
Thank
a
you.
great day. Thank you. Listen, we can ask for anything these days, and that's pretty damn close. All right, so the guy gets angry. His biryani was wrong. He throws it at the face of the clerk, but that wasn't it. He comes back hours later at 6 a.m, and there is crystal clear video. Surveillance cameras on the outside. The guy shows up at 6 the next morning with a white 5-gallon bucket. It's filled with gasoline. He then throws the gas onto the storefront through those metal security bars that come down.
Yeah, every New York store seems to have them.
Right. So he throws the gas through the bars and then lights it on fire. All right. The gas got on his shoes, and apparently he said, quote, "I bought a gas can. I threw it at the store, tried to burn it out. I lit it up, and boom, it got on me," said the man. And then his shoes were on fire as he's running away from the restaurant.
Got a hot foot.
After he tried to set the place on fire. All right, now this is the next twist here. All right, so we already have the dish was wrong. He threw it at the face of the store employee at the restaurant.
And I'm sorry, I missed this. Is it he wanted biryani and didn't get it?
Yeah, he
Okay.
ordered chicken.
What the heck did he get?
I don't know. He got something else.
Chicken
All
marsala.
right, so you keeping track here? He's got chicken marsala.
Something completely different.
Right, whole different country. All right, so he throws the food at the employee. Then he comes back hours later, throws gas on the store to burn the place down. But here is the final chunk of the story here, which is unbelievable. The guy was arrested after an extensive investigation. I mean, law enforcement, the police up in New York, the NYPD, and their arson investigators, they did a really good job. They spent nearly 2 weeks tracking this guy down. Surveillance video, asking people. They finally figured out who the guy is. They arrested him. Felony arson charges.
Well, yeah.
And then he was freed without bail. See, you hear about these problems up in New York and other parts of the country where they're just letting criminals out. No bail on this guy. You got to be kidding me. So a Queens, New York cop says he sets a store on fire. He planned this. Why is he out the next day? Good question. But that's happening all over the country in certain cities where you've got criminals that they're not prosecuting at the highest level, or they're just letting them go. How do you let an arsonist out like this with no bail? This is crazy. So it happened at the Itati Garden and Grill in Jackson Heights. Restaurant gave him the wrong order, so he threw it at them. Then he lights the place on fire.
I have to tell you, I've never had chicken biryani.
No.
Looks good.
It really does.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the recipe step by step right now. It looks really, really good.
Looks fantastic.
You got to imagine if you have a garden and a grill, fire's going to happen.
But, hey, let me ask you a question. You get angry. First of all, in the spur of the moment, you should never throw the takeout order at the face of the employee in the restaurant
Really?
if the order's wrong.
No, you
Hey, this
shouldn't.
is wrong. They'll make you a new one, you bonehead. But you got to be really pissed that if you're still seething, hours later, that you then get a bucket of gas to go back at 6 in the morning the next day.
You know what you do then? You write a nasty note to them.
Yeah, a very tersely worded letter.
Yes.
That is I mean, just unflippin' believable. Anyway, windows got shattered. The air conditioning unit was wrecked. And the guy was let out. And the cops, the FDNY, the fire marshal's team, the NYPD detective, they are so pissed that he was sprung.
Yeah.
I mean, what is going on up there? And he's due back in court in December. Yeah, let's see if he shows up for that. But, I mean, that is just absolutely insane what's going on around the country.
Yeah, Roxanne would have left a strongly worded Yelp review.
Or sent them a UPS, a letter to their house, yes.
There you go. All right. Strongly worded. A what?
Never mind. Go ahead.
I have
Continue.
I have no idea what
I've done that before. That's why I said that.
No idea what you guys are saying. All right. When we get back, one of the things I tease, speaking of restaurants, stuff you should never order at a restaurant. This is according to chefs. Items you should not order. That's among the long chunk of the MJ Morning Show coming up next here on Q105. Ladies and gentlemen, don't move. It is the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Fester, is it your phone ringing?
Yeah, I set a timer. I took a quick nap during this song.
No, you did. The song is the 3-minute song. What do you mean you took a nap?
I went there. We have a brown couch in the back.
Oh, my
back,
God.
Where we have like that broken pool table in the back of the radio station.
I've never been there.
All right, so
I don't even know where that is. There, I haven't been in like 90% of this building.
So you've been in that area. It's right around the corner.
I have not. We have a pool table?
We have
broken.
We have the most broken, busted, saddest pool table. It was like a ball on the table.
I've never seen it.
Yeah.
I rolled the ball into the corner pocket and it fell straight to the floor.
It's the only pool table I've seen where you bounce the balls off the side walls and they don't
move.
bounce.
It doesn't move. It's like
it sticks to the wall.
The felt is gone. There's like a metal edge. It's the worst pool table ever.
No.
Anyway, there's a brown couch. So while we were doing the last commercials and this song, I set a timer on my phone for 5 minutes and I laid down and closed my eyes for a couple minutes. And I was, could faintly hear Michael Jackson in the back, and then Froggy comes walking in the back door.
We should bring the couch in here like the old days.
Who takes a nap for 2.5 or 3 minutes?
It was for like 4 minutes. I set my timer for 5 minutes.
Commercial break.
And then Froggy comes walking in.
Dude, if you're needing to take a nap at 7:25 in the morning, that's a problem.
I take naps. I take naps at stoplights. I take naps all the time.
You doze off at stoplights?
I'll take power naps, and I'll put my car in like park.
All right.
That's not good.
Somebody will toot behind me and wake me up.
MJ, so that's the alarm clock?
Yeah.
Is somebody honking the horn behind
Like
you?
an alarm clock.
Beep, beep. Sorry, buddy. Click, click, boom, go.
All right, 7:26, MJ Morning Show. You're in luck. This begins the long chunk of the MJ Morning Show. Let's go. I got a lot to cover here. First of all, in just a few minutes, around 7:45, so 20 minutes from right now, 19 minutes from right now, what you should never order at a restaurant, according to chefs. These are chefs. These are food pros saying, don't order these items at a restaurant. So hang on. We'll get to that coming up in just a bit. I just mentioned moments ago a very creepy story. And I've been following this story for years. I first saw this story, I think, back in 2016 or 2015. And I was first made aware of this story. But now, this creepy story has become the subject of a new Netflix series which just came out a few days ago. Roxanne, I had you look it up. So, The Watcher on Netflix.
Oh, I was thinking about watching that.
Oh, so you saw the little preview?
Just last night. I was looking for something to watch and ended up watching Seinfeld, but I gave it a thought.
The Watcher dropped on Netflix on the 13th?
Right, last Thursday. Right?
Yeah, it's been up there a few days.
13th.
How many episodes is it? Do we know? Does it say? So, what is The Watcher? Folks, this is a weird story. It's a true story. I don't know. I haven't seen the Netflix series, but I will. I'm going to add it to my watch list. The Watcher on Netflix is based on a really creepy 7 episodes.
7.
Thank you. All right, 7 episodes, and I would imagine it's a one-off limited series, right? I don't think
there's a bunch of. I started watching. There's a bunch of comedians in it.
Well, Bobby Cannavale's in it.
Oh, I interviewed him. I love him.
Of course you did. You've interviewed everybody. Of course you interviewed him. I like him.
I do too.
He's a great actor.
Who is he? The bald guy?
No. Well, I don't know. I haven't seen The Watcher. Maybe he is bald in the movie, but in real life he had hair.
Really?
Bobby Cannavale, I think he's fantastic.
Can you tell me something he's been in?
Yeah, with Paul Giamatti. It was a movie about wrestling.
He's in all kinds of stuff.
He's in everything. Like
he's a
character actor?
Yes, exactly.
I wouldn't say he's a character actor.
I think he is.
He's in Blonde, the Marilyn Manson movie. He's in that.
Marilyn Manson has a
No,
movie?
Marilyn Monroe.
Oh,
you said
dude.
Manson.
Hold on. What did I say?
Marilyn Manson. You said
Wait a minute. Did I really say that?
It's called The Beautiful People.
Oh, my God. I said Marilyn Manson?
I think you need an MRI,
My
right, Fez?
God, I'm losing it. Something's going.
I
Something's
think you
going.
need an MRI. I think we need to get you one right now.
Something's going on in my brain. I said Marilyn Manson?
Fester, sometimes you have to just think. MJ, you have to think before you speak.
In the Marilyn Monroe movie, Blonde on Netflix, that is really good. He plays Joe DiMaggio.
Yeah, I know, yeah. There's a bunch of comedians.
Oh, Bobby Cannavale, he is incredible. All right, so he's in The Watcher. Watcher's this new Netflix series. It just came out. You've got to watch this. It's based on a real story. And let me tell you about The Watcher.
Emma Watson's in it.
The Watcher is about a family that purchased a house in New Jersey, just outside of Manhattan. So right across the river, over in New Jersey. You know, a lot of commuters, you know, on Wall Street live out, you know, in this area. So this was in Union County in the town of Westfield. Now, I pulled the old story from 2016 to tell you about The Watcher. And just imagine, Roxanne, this is going to creep you out.
Ooh, I bet.
Imagine if you bought a house and this happened. The Watcher is a story about a guy. We're thinking it's a guy who terrorized a family after they bought a home in New Jersey in 2014. The name of the family that bought the home, Derek and Maria Broadus. And they purchased this house in 2014. A year later, they filed a lawsuit in 2015, and they claimed that the prior owners, the people that they bought the house from, duped them, that the family lied to them, they conned them, scammed them, whatever you want to call it, into buying the home, knowing that there was somebody called the Watcher, who is a stalker, who stalks whoever owns that home.
So it wasn't like he was stalking the previous family there. It has nothing to do with the family. It's just the home.
The previous family was stalked, and apparently there's a history of somebody stalking whoever owns the home. So the Broaduses buy the home in 2014. The previous owners did not disclose that there is a creepy stalker that sends creepy letters. And wait till I tell you what's in some of the letters that they got.
I want to hear that, but that is a good question. Like, does real estate law, does that mandate that you disclose if there's a stalker? Because you could be like, no, they were just stalking me. I didn't know how to do with the house.
I think it varies. I think state to state, I'm sure there are probably different. Hey, Andrew, what's the call you have on hold? Andrew's like giving me the... Oh, really? All right, hold on a sec. I got to tell the story first. All right, now, who is this? Kim?
Yes, hi.
Hey, Kim. Hey, it's MJ and the crew here. So you know all about the Watcher house, right?
Well, I do, but I haven't lived there for 20 years.
All right, now hold on a sec. Let me stay on the phone with us. I'm gonna leave your phone up. Stay with us. Let me tell the story, and then I want to hear what you have to say. So the Broaduses buy the home in 2014. They start getting these letters from the Watcher. That's what the person calls themselves. And they were all pissed off that the previous owners didn't say, hey, by the way, the house is great, except, well, we have a stalker that's going to creep you out with really stalky, creepy letters that you're going to get. So here's what happened. The Watcher, the person goes by the Watcher, claims the right of possession of the home and sends threatening letters. So the couple back in 2016, they wanted to knock the house down, bulldoze the house, and build actually 2 new houses on the lot, because it's a big lot in Westfield, New Jersey. All right, now here's the deal. They wanted to demolish the home because of the Watcher who's been watching this house and the reputation. Now, the Broaduses, they purchased the home for $1.3 million in June of 2014. They were planning on moving in with their 3 kids, but then within days of buying the house, days after they closed, the letters start coming in. Here's an example of one of the letters. Quote, my grandfather watched the house in the 1920s, and my father watched it in the 1960s. It's now my time. That was in one of the first letters that arrived to them. I have been put in charge of watching and waiting for its second coming. Another letter. Do you need to fill the house with young blood? I requested. Once I know their names, I will call to them and draw them out to me. Another letter. I am pleased to know your names now and the name of the young blood you have brought me. Will the young bloods play in the basement?
Ew.
Yes. Ooh. All right. Now.
I mean, it sounds like you're just making friends in the neighborhood.
Another one of the lines in the letter read, "Who has the bedrooms facing the street? I'll know as soon as you move in. It will help me to know who is in which bedroom when I can plan better." And the writer even notes how the home's windows and doors allowed him to watch and track the family as they move through the house. And then another letter that was sent, it read, quote, "You have changed it and made it so fancy. It cries for the past and what used to be in the time when I roamed the halls, when I ran from room to room imagining the life with the rich occupants there. And now I watch and wait for the day when the young blood will be mine again."
This guy's very poetic.
So in each of these letters that are assigned by the watcher of this house in New Jersey, it talks about young blood. Then here's another line from another letter. Quote, "Have they found out what is in the walls yet? In time, they will."
Are you going to ruin the show?
All right. Dude, I'm telling the story.
I want to watch the show.
The story is based on these letters.
Are you going to give out the whole thing?
Yeah, I mean, okay.
And the family. Anyway.
Thank you for saving me 7 hours.
Can't
you just say watch the watcher?
Local police in New Jersey, in Westfield, they exhaustively investigated this. They tried to get DNA off of the envelopes.
Oh, okay,
The letters that were mailed. They couldn't find anything. This is unsolved. They don't know who the watcher is.
Isn't there something you can do now, where paper? Okay, so these are handwritten letters.
I don't know what. I don't know if they were handwritten or if they were typed. I don't know.
He's not going to give us that one detail from the show, so we have to watch it.
Okay. But I was going to say, if you print something from a certain printer, nowadays there are codes in the printers and people, investigators, can find what printer it came from.
I don't know if that's true.
So in some cases.
I know I've heard that. I've heard that with copy machines, if you try to print money, that there's certain. I don't know if a regular laser printer has a code in it. If you have a HP or a Lexmark or something, I don't know.
The guy didn't pick up a New York Post to make a newspaper ransom letter or something.
Sounds like somebody's on the phone line.
Anyway, well, it is. It's Kim.
Oh, she's still there.
Yeah, dude. I told.
It's been hours. It feels.
It's been 3 minutes. I told.
It's been 5, and Kim just sit there silently while you hear us talk.
We're so sorry.
I told Kim to hang on. So Kim is calling in from Sarasota, and Kim, you lived in this neighborhood in Westfield, New Jersey.
Yes, I grew up there.
All right. Do you know the story of the Watcher House?
I do. Now, I haven't lived there for 20 years, but my family is still there. So I remember when it was happening back in 2015, and my sister called and was like, "You will not believe what's happening." And the only thing that I know really, that was happening from people that I know from there is people started moving out. The people that lived on the same block were like, "I'm out of here." Because it was freaking the people out.
Yeah, it wasn't just the people in the house. It was that's right. The neighbors nearby were getting freaked out over the watcher.
Yes. And so as I didn't know the people that lived in the house, but people nearby were we're leaving. So they just left to, nearby neighborhoods. But Westfield is a beautiful town. And the story, it was very creepy. From what I know, families moved in there, or occupants are in there since 2019. They bought it for about $900,000, I think. Way underpriced.
Yeah, you can get it for a discount when you got some creep that's stalking the place. Hey, I don't know if you knew this, Kim, but I even read that some of the neighbors even voluntarily gave their DNA to prove that they were not the watcher sending the creepy letters to the house.
You have to.
You don't have to. You don't have to. What do you mean you have to? You don't have to give your DNA unless there's a court order.
Then you're a suspect. Your neighbor's getting harassing letters. You're the first suspect. Or you give them your swab and you have nothing to hide.
What if you're a sovereign citizen? You believe in it.
Well, and they were bringing in detectives and all sorts of people from New York City and everything to bring them in and be like, can anyone figure this out? So people were stepping up going, I'll volunteer anything. So, yeah, I do know about that. But it's definitely creepy. I'm surprised the house didn't go down. But the current occupant said that nothing's happened since that particular family moved out.
Right. It seems that the letters have stopped. You know, some people have accused the family of, you know, trying to gin up a story, like the old Amityville horror story. Yeah, there was a family that was murdered in that house out in Amityville. And on my Instagram, like, I don't know, 4 years ago, Chloe had soccer out in Amityville. And while she was at practice, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go find the Amityville horror house. And I did. And they changed the address. They changed it from like 14 to 16 or from 10 to 12. So they changed the address of the house to make it. And those old creepy like half moon windows, they took those out years ago. But it's like the Amityville horror house. A family was murdered by their son in the house. But the people that moved in afterward, the Lutzes, I think it was George Lutz. I'm sorry, Lutz. I'm pronouncing it like where Fester lives. But it was the Lutz family, and they were accused of inventing the whole Amityville horror. And in fact, the evidence points to the fact that the Lutz family, they made up the entire Amityville horror thing, which turned into a book and a movie, and I think several movies. So some were accusing the people of the Watcher House of inventing this, but apparently it had happened prior. So I think there's proof that it had happened prior to the family buying the house in 2014, Kim.
Right, and that's where the lawsuit came from, because they're like, you duped us, like something was happening here.
Yeah.
Before, when we purchased the home.
Right, and that's a question. I don't know about New Jersey real estate, but when you buy a home, you have the seller disclosures. You've got to disclose if there's like a leaf, a roof leak. You got to disclose anything that's wrong with the house. And I don't know if in New Jersey you've got to disclose if you're getting creepy letters in the mail from the Watcher.
Right. Well, I'm curious if this series actually continues on and tells you what happened to that family. Like, where did they go, and did they keep receiving letters?
Anyway, apparently it stopped, as you said, and it only seems to be tied to the house. In Westfield, New Jersey, in Union County.
I know. That's crazy.
Right.
Yes.
Well, listen, this just goes to show we can talk about anything these days. And we get calls. That tells me how large the listening audience is, that we can talk about anything and we get phone calls. Hey, Kim, thanks for anything else you want to add?
No, that's all. Thank you for being back on the air. I really enjoy you guys.
We enjoy you calling in. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye. So the Watcher House. And now it's a Netflix series. It just came out last week. And it's The Watcher, 7 episodes on Netflix.
Yes, that's right.
With Bobby Cannavale, who he's one of my favorite actors.
The letters were typed, according to one of the texters.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I feel like I know the whole story now. You just saved me like 7 hours.
What are you talking about?
I know the whole thing.
Naomi
I
Watts.
talked to Kim, a woman who lived there.
No, she didn't live in the house, dude.
Same neighborhood. I mean, that's like talking to Dahmer's neighbor and then expecting to watch that series.
I've got a Dahmer story. Hold on a minute. Just speaking of Netflix, hang on a minute. Let me get the Dahmer story here. But hold on a minute.
Yes, another 10-part real life story.
All right, before I get to the restaurant story, because we're almost at 7:45, and I promised that I would do the things you should never order in a restaurant, according to chefs. All right? Get to that in a second. But speaking of Netflix and Dahmer, Michelle, man, I tell you, the Dahmer thing is still creeping Michelle out.
Oh my gosh, it's a show.
Yeah, we're on episode. What are we on? We watched episode 4 and 5. Yeah, we're on 6 now. So we've got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 episodes, right?
You're a really good counter of single digits.
Thank you.
We're on episode 4, so there's 5. And he's stuttering. He's like, there's 5, 6, 7. 8. Numbers haven't changed in many years.
Why are you being a jackass? All right.
I'm the jackass. You're the one that can't count.
All right. Now, there's Jeffrey Dahmer gear being sold on Etsy.
Oh yeah.
Now, when I think of Etsy, I think of little old ladies making pot holders and what are those
Crocheting,
things?
cutesy stuff.
What are the things you put like hot pots on? Trivets?
Trivet.
Is it a trivet?
I think it's a trivet.
you a throw blanket.
Listen, MJ, Etsy has become, it's a huge marketplace for all kinds of one-off items.
I think you can buy chicken skulls for Santeria events
With your name and initials.
on Etsy these days. All right, so Etsy is taking a little bit of heat because people are selling these grisly Jeffrey Dahmer items on Etsy because of the popularity of Dahmer on Netflix. So I've got some pictures here, and some are more humorous, and I'm like, how the hell do you make Jeffrey Dahmer humorous? I'll tell you, all right, this is terrible. This is terrible, but when I saw it, I laughed. I feel guilty that a guy that killed 17 people and ate their bodies and body parts and had heads and hearts and stuff in his fridge and freezer. I feel really bad. But one of the items that you can get on Etsy is a T-shirt, and it says Jeff Boyardee.
Oh,
Hysterical.
Oh,
That's
my
pretty funny.
God. And it's Jeffrey Dahmer with the Chef Boyardee hat on. He's got the chef hat on, and it's the exact same font. And it's Jeffrey Dahmer. Hey, Andrew, do you have this on camera?
I like that a lot.
Take a look.
That's a silly shirt.
Do you have it? You have it? So it's a picture of Jeffrey Dahmer. He's got the big, puffy, white chef's hat on, which I don't think I've seen a chef wear that in a long time. And it's Jeff, instead of Chef Boyardee, it's Jeff Boyardee.
That's clever.
Yuck, 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 yuck.
I love a funny T-shirt.
Then there's another T-shirt. Choke me like Bundy and eat me like Dahmer.
Oh my gosh!
What
That's a little
who's going to walk around with that T?
It's very sexual innuendo.
It's $22 plus shipping and handling on Etsy right now.
It's pretty awesome. There's another one that has like a quote and it says,
"Oh my God,
if you can't beat 'em, eat 'em," and then it says, "Sign Jeffrey Dahmer."
I think you wear shirts like that when you're at theme parks and you want to keep your personal space. You want people to stand far away from you.
Jeff Boyardee.
All right, there's a Jeffrey Dahmer coffee mug that has his mug shot and says, "I eat guys like you for breakfast."
So there's a whole Andrew just laughed at that. That's not funny. That's not funny, Andrew.
Cannibalism here, people.
Exactly.
I don't like that his face is associated with humor.
But the Jeffrey Dahmer series, this whole resurgence, it has made people like totally interested in Dahmer now. The Dahmer series on Netflix is now the number 2 watched Netflix series ever, behind Stranger Things. What does it say underneath Jeff Boyardee? Oh, now with more. Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh, so on the Jeff Boyardee logo, it says.
Now with more meat flavor.
Oh my God, this is terrible.
All right,
Chunky.
so
this is awful.
There's a
whole industry that's been cropped up here.
Cottage industry.
That's the word I was looking for. A new Jeffrey Dahmer knick-knack cottage industry.
There's a Jeffrey Dahmer Christmas sweater that says, "All I want for Christmas is you."
Oh my! Oh
my
God!
That could be taken in different
Maybe
ways.
people are trying to do all this to they're traumatized like Michelle is from watching it. And they're trying to desensitize themselves.
There's even Jeffrey Dahmer sneakers that has his pictures on the side. There are Jeffrey Dahmer high tops, his pictures on the side, and it has all like body organs, like hearts and livers and lungs.
Cool.
That are on the shoe.
All right, so Dahmer has evolved from, of course, being an awful human,
a horrible serial killer.
A serial killer.
It's a serial killer. A cannibalistic serial killer.
Pop culture phenomenon.
But now he's turned into a pop. Exactly. He's a pop culture gimmick.
I understand that Busch Gardens is doing the Dahmer coaster for next year.
Yeah.
Am I the only one expecting a Broadway musical?
Oh, no, Jeffrey
That's
Dahmer.
a good idea.
A Jeffrey Dahmer Broadway musical?
You know what, Andrew? That would really work.
Oh, my. No, it wouldn't.
It would. How fascinating would that be?
By the way, there's no Jeffrey Dahmer coaster coming to Busch Gardens, all right?
Oh, because everybody thought there was.
Dude, you're making fun of that. Yes, there are people that would believe that. So Jeffrey Dahmer items are all the rage now on Etsy and eBay.
But I'm surprised like a Halloween horror night or a haunted house hasn't just taken and embraced an entire Dahmer theme.
There are Jeffrey
Dude.
Dahmer cooking utensil sets now. You got to be kidding me! Like wooden spoons that have Jeffrey Dahmer pictures on the handle and on the spoon.
They should have the Jeffrey Dahmer like bench press set.
What do they say on the wooden spoon set?
One says, "I love you so much I could eat you. If you can't beat 'em, eat 'em. If you're looking like a real snack."
There's only so many eat you puns.
Oh, there's
there
an
are.
I eat guys like you for breakfast.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a wooden kitchen utensil set.
All right. These are mildly creative.
So there's like 4 eat you jokes.
I mean,
and-
yeah. I mean, after you spend those 4, there's plenty of sweaters with just his mug shot, which is public record.
That's pretty cool.
You know.
Yeah, here's a T-shirt it's Jeffrey Dahmer's picture and it says, "What's for dinner?"
Yeah.
Who's gonna wear this stuff out in public?
All right. So
Some dorks.
I was on Etsy yesterday looking at birds are fake or birds aren't real T-shirts.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Come on.
and everything's on Etsy. It was like, if it flies, it spies. It had a picture of a pigeon on it. I'm like, that is funny.
Anyway, Jeffrey Dahmer pop-up industry of all these little knickknacks and little tchotchkes and T-shirts and everything. All right, speaking of food, 9 things you should never order at an expensive restaurant. This is according to chefs.
Oh, I didn't know at an expensive restaurant.
Oh yeah, this is an expensive restaurant.
Yeah, so every other time you tease this, you just said restaurant. So
Oh,
we're
Yeah, that's a
thinking-
new detail.
Well, now I'm diving a little deeper in. All right. This came from the Eat This website. 9 things to never order at an expensive restaurant, according to chefs.
Are we allowed to guess?
If you want to throw out a guess before I get started, sure, go ahead.
How about snails?
Not on the list.
Good, because I love
All right, if it's going to be something stupid like salad because they don't wash the lettuce, let me know now. Because I don't order salad anyway because I have, a religious opposition to it. But I've always heard that, like, salad greens are like grabbed by hand.
Can I go ahead and just give the story out
Wait,
here
is
with
raw oysters?
We
Raw
ju-
oysters?
We just
Jeez,
acknowledged guessing a couple of seconds ago. Give your list. Go ahead.
Hold on.
What a grump.
You're talking about grabbing salad
Haven't
greens
you
with your
always-
hands?
haven't you
You're
always heard-
blurting.
What do you
hell are we doing here?
explain what you're saying?
Haven't you always heard that salads are the most disgusting thing to order at restaurants because the lettuce is just grabbed by the chef, thrown in the plate. They put whatever toppings are on it. They pass it out to the waiter to take to your table.
Ew, that's how they make salads.
Haven't you heard that in the past?
I've never heard
You
that.
mean
But
whatever toppings? You mean like salad dressing?
Or croutons, or if you get a Cobb salad, or you get the
They don't grab the pieces of egg and put it on there with their hands for a Cobb salad.
Yeah, you're right. The chicken just lays it
and
right
then
on the salad.
They,
Yeah,
they
you're
take
right.
the blue cheese, they crumble it with their hands, crumble.
Well, a
But
lot
the-
of times they have food service gloves on.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
leaves are in like this bowl that
You're
a
way
lot
off.
of hands are in.
Way off, bro.
What are you saying? It's like you're mumbling over here. So the
Am I in a parallel universe?
The lettuce is in either a big giant bowl or those plastic bins. The lettuce is prepped, and with lettuce, you want to know why lettuce is typically cold and crunchy at a restaurant.
Let us know why lettuce is cold and crunchy, MJ.
You definitely want to ice.
You want a crisp.
You want to ice bath your lettuce. So you want to get your lettuce really, really cold because nothing sucks more than like droopy, warm lettuce.
Or just flat.
Yeah.
Like floppy
All
lettuce.
I'm working on inventing the first hot salad.
That would be droopy.
Please,
Okay.
That
yeah.
droopy, wilted lettuce.
Yes.
Yeah.
for the love of God, MJ, please read your 9 things chef says we shouldn't order at expensive places.
Ice cream. So at an expensive restaurant, don't order ice cream for dessert unless it is in-house made ice cream. Instead, you might just be getting just a scoop out of some food service, bucket of ice cream.
They
So-
How do you know?
Yeah.
Right,
Well,
you asked the question, I guess.
because typically the menu will say homemade ice cream.
Oh, yeah, I may say that, but they're
Yeah.
going to get it out of a Breyers.
No, listen, if they say homemade, it's going to be homemade, all right? For the most part. I don't think they're going to lie about that. But again, now here's the deal. There are 2 things. You order ice cream at a restaurant for dessert if it's either homemade, made in-house in the restaurant, or if it is sourced from a local creamery or a local ice cream parlor that makes great local ice cream.
How annoying is it going to be to ask a waitress all this? Excuse me, was this number one? Is this made here in house, or number two, was this made by a local creamery? Can you give me all the information? Get out!
Are they grass-fed cows that produce the
Froggy,
cream for
do
this?
you want me to stop right now?
No, go ahead. I gotta know.
The next thing that chefs say that you should not order in an expensive restaurant is a charcuterie board.
Why?
Yeah. It's a big old trend right now because the chefs say that the charcuterie or cheese board, meat board, whatever, that they are very overpriced. So,
well, of course.
I mean, now a lot of times the presentation is good. It might be very tasty, but the chefs, according to this Eat This, they're saying that they are high profit items, and they are typically very overpriced. So, do you have any charcuterie complaints over there, Froggy?
Where is this charcuterie board put together? Where are these sausages? Is this gabagool? Is this gabagool? Is this capicola?
All right, next. Chefs say don't order this in a high-end restaurant.
Does you have a guess?
I'm still thinking salads.
Mac and cheese.
What?
Oh, my kids always get that.
But
That's
hold
a
on.
low-rent dish.
Hang on. At expensive restaurants, the chefs are saying don't order like the jazzed up macaroni and cheese.
Like lobster mac and cheese?
Exactly.
Like truffle mac and cheese?
Hold on. You just said.
This is fun.
Hang on. You just said the exact things I'm about to get to. So chefs are saying at expensive restaurants, avoid the mac and cheese if it's like a lobster mac and cheese or a truffle mac and cheese. The point is that typically you're not going to get a lot of lobster in the mac and cheese.
Well, you know what? I'm starting to think these chefs are putting stuff on the list that they don't want you to order because they want to eat it themselves.
What the hell did you just say?
Why would they eat their own truffles?
Because the lobster mac and cheese is delicious. She's onto something.
What does that mean?
Thank you.
Don't order the mac and cheese. I'm taking it home to the kids.
The point is with lobster is very expensive these days, and they're saying that you're going to get very cheap macaroni and cheese, unless you use like tons of like Gruyere and all kinds of expensive cheeses in there. But so with lobster mac and cheese, you typically get a very, very small amount of lobster. Now, what was the other thing you said?
Truffle.
Right. So truffles, typically you're not getting real shaved truffles because, first of all, truffles are expensive as hell, especially the
Truffleiest.
Black truffles?
No, the black are the cheaper ones. White truffles.
Oh, white truffles.
Yeah. So white truffles are the more expensive of the truffle. So whether it's white truffle or black truffle, you're not going to get typically real shaved truffle on your mac and cheese. A lot of times it's just like truffle oil.
Truffle.
I don't really care about the authenticity of the truffle because if it's truffle fries, truffle popcorn, anything truffle, I've never not liked my truffle experience.
Do you know how much a pound of Italian white truffle costs? Right now, the approximate cost of 1 pound of Italian white truffle. Take a guess. How much do you think
pound.
it is? Yeah, a pound of white truffle.
I don't even know what size is truffle. What is it? Just sprinkled on and
No, it's a bulb. It's a fungus.
Okay,
it's
a bulb.
So
probably like $5,000.
all right, well, not that much.
How many times have we said the word truffle?
And we haven't mentioned the truffle shuffle from Goonies.
All right, so a pound of white Italian truffles like $1,500 right now.
Whoa, we were close.
That is a lot.
Yeah, so on your $15 bowl of mac and cheese, you just imagine how much you're getting.
Now, also, I've been to restaurants where they actually, and I've had some white truffle at restaurants, but they will actually come out and shave the white truffle right in front of you.
You want me to shave the truffle?
Okay, just to say when.
I shave the truffle for you.
No, it's not like say when.
So-
They have a certain number of little
Allotment.
a couple of slices. So there's a definite number of slices that you get when they shave the truffle at the
Maybe
table.
you want 77 slices of this. 1, 2, 3.
And he's trying to sound like the Count on Sesame Street.
Hey, 77 slices of truffle for fat man.
All right, but you talking about me or Fester?
I'll eat a truffle
now,
straight.
And the black truffle, they're more liberal with the black truffle because black truffles are nowhere near as expensive as the white truffles. But a lot of times the flavor that you get with like truffle macaroni and cheese, it's truffle oil. And truffle oil, to like serious chefs, truffle oil is like Beelzebub. It's like they'll put up their fingers like a cross, like no truffle. For instance, I heard that, you want to hear? There's a great Italian restaurant that I love
called the Truffle.
No, it's not. It's called Isodi. There's a great Italian restaurant in the West Village of Manhattan. It's on Christopher Street, and it's called Isodi. The letter I and then S-O-D-I. Isodi. And Michelle and I were sitting at the bar. It's a small place. They've got like 17 or 18 bar seats. They've got only like 6 or so tables in there. And there's always a line, always a wait. And Michelle and I, we were sitting at the bar a couple of years ago having dinner. Love the restaurant. And it was something with truffles. It was a pasta with truffles. And the diner, the customer next to us asked the bartender, I think his name is Chris, and the guy next to us said, "Yeah, so is it truffle oil?" And he went, "There is no truffle oil in this restaurant."
Jeez, sound like a pterodactyl.
Very traumatic. So we're getting people on the text line, MJ, for our lower rent listeners, asking, "What the hell is a truffle?"
It's a fungus.
It's like a mushroom.
It's a fungus that grows in the ground. That's a truffle.
Is it in the mushroom family?
Why don't you look up? Go to M-W. Go to Merriam-Webster and get the actual definition of the truffle. All right, hold on a sec. Let me give out the cash box word here, and then we'll pick up because I got a couple other things that chefs say you should never order at a pricey restaurant. All right, so the Rock the Cash Box word right now for 8 a.m. is cute. That's C-U-T-E. Now, you know we had a winner at this time yesterday on Q105 for $1,000. All right, so text the word cute right now nationwide to 45911. Text cute, C-U-T-E, nationwide to 45911 before 8:15, before quarter after. You got a shot at $1,000 cash, or you can enter it on the Q105 app or at myQ105.com.
Hey, you know how people find truffles?
Pigs?
Yes, female pigs. Because the truffles smell like musky male pigs.
What do you think you're talking to? Of course I know how they,
Did you know that the truffles smell like male musky pigs?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why the females can sniff them out better?
There you
go. So it says a truffle is a strong-smelling underground fungus that resembles an irregular, rough-skinned potato.
It's like a bulby thing, and I said it's a fungus. It's an underground fungus, and the most desirable truffles are the white truffle, and those are the ones that get really, really pricey.
A lot of them are found in France with the aid of dogs or pigs.
Yes.
Yeah, dogs too.
Yep.
All right.
I know that pigs search for truffles. All right, so truffle oil is like off limits for like high-end chefs. They don't want to. No truffle oil in this place. Did you say truffle oil? All right, so the next.
There's a lot of truffle talk.
A lot of truffle. Well, no, listen, I'm going through the list of things that you shouldn't order in an expensive restaurant.
We hit a speed bump on truffle.
You ready?
Yeah, truffles are aphrodisiacs.
Number 4
that's the last truffle
on this list of 9.
Next. I don't even know if I'm going to get to all 9, but next, shrimp cocktail.
Aw.
Yeah.
I order all this stuff.
So chefs say do not order shrimp cocktail at a fine dining restaurant or off of a fine dining menu. Why?
Because it's all food service bag stuff.
That's not what they're saying. They're saying that it is an effortless item. It is relatively inexpensive. You boil some shrimp. You then chill the shrimp, and you put it in a dish. You don't need a whole lot of chef experience there. So they're saying just skip it. And the chefs are saying that the prices are typically way too high. They charge a very high price for a very simple dish.
I mean, unless the place is known for their shrimp cocktail. What's that place, Froggy, that you go to?
Who the hell is known for shrimp cocktail?
St. Elmo
There's one restaurant in the world I can think of. There's St. Elmo's in Indianapolis.
Indianapolis. It's just St. Elmo Steakhouse in Indianapolis.
No S in St. Elmo.
Yes.
And there's no S in their shrimp. It's just hemp cocktail.
Hemp?
Sorry.
That was good.
Listen,
No, you left out the R.
their
too.
shrimp. It's shrimp cocktail. There's nothing special.
Shrimp.
So we have the chefs are saying just avoid shrimp cocktail because it's a high price for a very simple dish.
Some days the jokes come really easy, and other days they're really hard. So today's a hard day.
All right, here's the next thing you should avoid. Paying for bread. Have you noticed that trend? That
I have.
Some
Yes.
restaurants want to charge you for the bread. Would you like our breadboard? Would you like our bread platter? And that's a thing.
Dude.
And I've seen it all over the country. And listen, some of the bread is very, very good, but chefs, according to the Eat This website, chefs are saying that many upscale restaurants will offer complimentary bread, but more and more these days, there are restaurants that are charging for the bread service. Listen, we're starting to see tons of stuff that usually was included that now we're getting charged for. You know what the worst thing is? Hotels. The resort fee. What kind of racket is that? So now they've come up with a way to charge you for stuff that was always just included in your hotel stay. Resort charge. Tell you what you can do with your resort charge.
What's a resort charge?
Oh, that's where they charge you for pool towels, access to the business center,
The workout center.
access to the workouts. Exactly.
I don't use the workout
All
center.
this crap that used to be included, now you got places that are trying to just charge you for it to try to jack up the revenue. So what are you pointing at, Festa?
No, I'm saying, I know I took the family to a very, very fancy steakhouse a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, which one was that?
Texas Roadhouse.
Oh, yeah.
And the bread was included.
Well, there you go.
The big old yeast rolls.
So the chefs are saying that, hey, if there's complimentary bread, fine. But if they're charging you for bread, the chefs are saying, why don't you save the room in your stomach for the tasty and unique appetizers and your main dish instead of filling up on bread that they want to charge you for?
Pass on the bread and fill up on the shrimp cocktail and the truffle macaroni and cheese.
Oh, whoops. Not those.
What else do we have here? Most places, unless they're experts, they say avoid breaded fried oysters, mozzarella sticks, breaded fried lobster. They're saying,
I never see those items at expensive restaurants anyway.
mozzarella. I've seen mozzarella sticks and fried oysters at restaurants. And listen, some places they have specialties with fried items. The chefs are saying, unless a place is absolutely known for their breaded and fried items, that you should typically avoid them at a typical fine dining restaurant.
Yes, and welcome to Shea Restaurant, Ms. Wilder. Would you like our mozzarella sticks and potato skins?
right out of the Costco freezer. Yeah.
Would you like the spinach artichoke tortilla chip dip?
I shall pass today.
And I think we're about done here.
What else you got? Come on, just
I'm hungry.
bullet down the list. I want to hear them all.
Well, no, it's all buried in the story. And okay, the last one is Wagyu beef.
Really?
Yeah. So
Again, something else I like to get.
well, it depends on the quality of the beef. So the deal is there's been some bastardization as far as, what really qualifies. Because the Wagyu, they try to position that as like a Japanese Kobe beef.
Right.
And that's the real deal. The nickname for real Japanese Kobe beef is, and this is what chefs call it, meat butter. And that really, now, if you've had Kobe beef, if you've had the real deal, like when we go to Japan, there's a place that we love in Tokyo. It's kind of out of the way, but they serve real A5, and man, it's expensive, but it's fantastic.
A5.
Well, that's the grade. It's
What do you think I know? I don't eat Wagyu.
So they also didn't they branch a herd off like in Montana? There's like American Wagyu.
Well, yeah. So you have like American Wagyu, exactly, but they're saying that authentic Kobe beef is Wagyu from the Tajima strain of Japanese black cattle, but you'll also find American Kobe beef on the market, as well as other variations. And there are too many variations, and there's low grading. So you might be ordering what you think is like high-end Kobe-style beef, but you're not really getting the real deal. So unless you're at a primo steak place and it's like, certified, it's real A5, then you want to avoid that type of cut of steak.
Do any of these fancy chefs give their opinion on quesadillas?
No.
Because I always get quesadillas when I go out, and it's like the
That's your
cheapest.
go-to.
My wife's like, "Why are you getting that? It's just like a tortilla and some cheese."
See, I think it's an interesting list. Didn't you learn something, or weren't you enlightened, or didn't you get your brain moving a little bit, Roxanne?
I'm going to think about it the next time I'm at a fancy restaurant.
The things that you should never order at an expensive restaurant, and this is according to the chefs.
Yeah, I'm glad I learned that. I'm glad I go to restaurants with free rolls. That's what I pay for bread.
With peanuts on the floor.
Those are the best. You ever take like those yeast rolls and you put like the cinnamon butter and the peanuts in the roll and you make like a nut bread?
No.
Oh, it's the best.
What are you saying?
So you go to Texas Roadhouse. They give you the peanuts. You shell the peanuts, right? Then you slice open the yeast roll. You put a little bit of the cinnamon butter in there, and then you jam the
peanuts. What are you're making like Frankenfood. What are you doing?
You guys have never had peanuts. You guys haven't lived. Forget this truffle oil mac and cheese.
Who sticks butter and peanuts in a roll at Texas Roadhouse?
I would eat that.
It's fantastic.
And you invented this?
I think I'm the
Do you dip it in Dr. Pepper as well?
All right, it's real next level stuff. It actually makes it sound better.
Oh my God, you're unbelievable. All right, I made a statement earlier this morning. At 6 o'clock this morning, I said I've got the quote of the day. Do you guys know what the quote of the day is?
Yes.
I don't know how it is placed in context. I don't know who said it. I just remember you saying it.
Is it a famous quote?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not like...
No, it's not. I said that I've got the quote of the day. No, it's not a famous quote from a famous person.
Okay. It's kind of like we're out of the fireworks business.
Guys,
it's just
do you remember?
Random, yes, I know the quote.
Well, what'd I say?
You said, I can do my job sitting on the toilet. Was that it?
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
Now, those are not my word, but technically, I guess I could. I guess I could do this job sitting on the toilet. But...
Well, you want to go to phones on an interesting topic, boy.
You've heard... Here's the deal. You've heard about quiet quitting.
Yeah.
You've heard about the Great Resignation. Well, guess what is also this big theme with the Generation Z crowd?
Working from the bathroom?
Well, essentially, the Generation Z crowd, they have the mentality that they can do their job from anywhere, and that includes, I can do my job from the toilet. Should we go to phones and ask people, can you do your job from the toilet?
Very literally. I understand the broader context of I can work from anywhere, I can work from the bathroom, but could you actually do your job while on the commode?
And is this generation going to need to see a colonoscopy person? What is that? What kind of doctor is that?
a proctologist or an intern or a gastroenterologist?
Yes.
Yeah, a gastroenterologist, I think. All right. So, folks, can you do your job from the toilet?
Plumber, I guess, can't. He's going to be working on the toilet.
All right. That's true. And for all you come from the Kuzmano plumbing family.
A long line of plumbers.
There you go.
Long line.
So, hey, were they trying to suck you into the plumbing business? How did
they kept me away from it? I can't even, I can't do man stuff. So I was always out of the biz.
You can't do man stuff, so you were never even a candidate for the business?
I couldn't fix my toilet the other day because it kept running, and my 7-year-old fixed it. So he opened the thing and moved something. He was like, I did it, Dad.
Tell you what, your 7-year-old has a big future in Kuzmano plumbing.
Franchises, I'll let you know when they're available.
All right, I want to know. Let's go to phones on this. Do you subscribe to the Generation Z mentality? And again, Generation Z is what is the time frame? Is it like 2000? It's like 2000 to born through 2018 or something.
I thought it was 97 to 12.
There we go. All right, so Generation Z is 1997 to 2012. Thank you. So if you're born 1997 to 2012, that is Generation Z, and they pretty much think that they can do their job from the toilet. All right, let's go to phones on this. Can you do your job from the toilet? All right, 800-990-1047. And obviously I want to know what you do, what your job is. All right, 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Fire up the phones right now and tell me, can you do your job from the toilet?
I always thought it'd be funny to do like maybe a podcast from a public restroom just in the middle stall. People just walk in and you're just like, so what's going on? Can't believe what's going on with the Kardashians. And then you're like, excuse me, sir, what do you think about Miss Kardashian? I think we got something, Fez.
Hey, you got natural bathroom. You got natural bathroom like reverb and echo going on.
Mind if I interview you for my podcast? It's the Poopcast.
It's a Poopcast. Hello, yes.
Yeah, welcome.
All right, so
Froggy, let me put you in the bed. Hey, it's the MJ and Froggy bathroom podcast. Hey, Froggy, what's going on today?
Hey, how are you? Welcome to the stall. And we got somebody coming in the door. What's your name, sir?
Hey, my name's Bill.
Hold on, I got to put Fester in the bathroom. Hold on.
Hey, Bill, welcome to the bathroom show.
Hey, I just came here to do my business.
Well, do you mind if we interview you for your podcast while you go?
I'm going to be here a minute, so sure.
Stop with the noises.
I'm so glad that took place in the men's bathroom.
Who's making the noises? Stop it.
You guys know that Roxanne Wilder? She just walked into the ladies' room. Maybe we could slip a microphone under the stall for her.
Hey, Roxanne, would you like to...
I'm dying.
Roxanne, hi.
Hi. You know I like to keep my stall door open because I have claustrophobia.
Oh, that's true. Roxanne revealed this recently that she keeps the stall door open in the ladies' room because she gets claustrophobic.
Only if there's no one else in there.
Wait a minute. Put Roxanne back in the bathroom for a second.
Hey.
All right, hold on. Roxanne, back in the bathroom. All right, you're back in the bathroom.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, Roxanne!
Disgusting.
Roxanne.
Oh, so gross.
Would you stop it, Froggy?
Hey, Roxanne just...
I've never sounded like that in a public restroom or any restaurant.
Froggy, the idea is to gain listeners.
Listen,
The idea is to gain listeners, not run them off.
That's radio theater.
Oh, yes.
Radio
All right,
theater.
let's go to phones. All right, phones are loaded already. All right, the millennial mantra is, I can do my job from the bathroom. I'm sorry, the Generation Z mantra is, I can do my job from the bathroom.
Are we going to take calls from just a bunch of people who work from their house? Is that what this is going to turn
I have
into?
no idea. We're going to find out.
Okay.
Listen, sometimes we just wing it. All right, Amanda's in Zephyr Hills. Amanda, can you do your job from the bathroom, from the toilet? Amanda, are you there?
She can't take this.
Yes, Amanda, can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Amanda, yes, I can. All right, Amanda, can you do your job from the toilet?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Yes, 100% I can.
Amanda, how old are you?
I'm 24, so I'm like on the older line of Gen Z.
Oh, so you are Gen Z, though.
98.
Wow. You were born in what year, 98?
Yes, 98.
All right, so what job do you do that you can do it from the toilet?
I'm a social media marketing specialist.
What the hell is that?
So basically, I run a social media account for a business, and I am in charge of all of their online presence.
Hold on. So your full-time job is just hanging out on Instagram and Facebook?
Pretty much. I do have a lot of coworkers who are in other areas of the business that are like, you just sit online all day. And I'm like, well, yeah, but I also create all of the graphics, all of the brochures, all of the marketing materials.
But if you have to take any pictures, they're going to kind of be limited to your bathroom.
So whenever I do have any in-person event, I do have to go out.
All right, so what as a Generation Zer in charge of a business's social media, which platform do you think is far and above the best as far as reach and effectiveness?
It really depends on what target market you're looking at.
All right, give me some examples.
So if you're looking at like more teens and the younger generations, or specifically middle-aged moms, I would say TikTok.
Yep. Which is, by the way, a Chinese communist info gathering operation.
I love TikTok. Love it.
It's a little bit there. Older generations are typically Facebook. Millennials are generally Instagram.
Right.
So it's kind of like And then Twitter is just kind of all around.
Okay.
But also at the same
See,
time.
I find Twitter to be a total cesspool these days, to be quite
Me
honest.
too.
So, Amanda, what kind of company are you the social media director for where you're working in your commode?
I work for a behavioral health company.
A behavioral health company. Interesting. Amanda, thanks for the insight. I appreciate it. Thanks for listening. Chelsea is in Lakeland. Chelsea, can you do your job from the toilet?
Hey, well, I guess I can't now because I work like at an office, but I used to work in multi-level marketing, like network marketing,
Right.
or what some people call like a pyramid scheme.
Oh, you worked for a pyramid scheme.
Well, there was no longevity in it for me. There is for some people, I guess, but so I guess with like COVID and stuff, a lot of random like work from home jobs opened up. So I think that the younger crowd that knows how to like work their way around a phone and social media, I guess there could be some longevity and that kind of stuff for them. But I don't know. I don't know. Working from the commode anywhere would be.
All right, Chelsea, do you have a bunch of kids in the back seat?
I do. I have a daughter in the back seat. Do you hear her talking?
I do. How old's your daughter?
She's 2.
Oh, Chelsea, and how old are you?
I'm 27.
Awesome. Hey, thanks a lot. I 24-year-old, 27-year-old. Hey, our our listenership is, we had 13-year-olds on the air last week. Our demographic spread is just ginormous on the show. Hey, Chelsea, thanks for calling. All right, Sasha. So far, all females on this. Sasha is in Lakeland. Hey, Sasha, are you Generation Z?
No, I wish I was, but no.
Oh, boy. Sasha, you got a bad line here.
Sounds like your phone's in the toilet.
Sasha, can you do your job from the toilet?
Yes, I can.
Are you in the bathroom right now?
No.
Yeah.
I'm in the car.
We have kind of a bad connection. But what kind of job do you do that you can do it from the toilet?
I'm a licensed mental health therapist.
You're a licensed medical what?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Sasha.
Yeah. The line is really, really bad.
Thanks for calling. Thank you for listening.
Sasha, we really appreciate it. But I think you said licensed medical health or whatever.
Mental health.
She said licensed medical.
That was a weird connection.
Counselor.
All right, I want to grab one more. I'll grab one more call on this, and then we got to move on. Joe is in Land O'Lakes. Land of Lakes.
Land of Lakes.
Like, I haven't lived here since 1994. Hey, Joe in Land O'Lakes. Joe, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Can you do your job from the toilet?
I think you're asking the wrong question. I think the question should be, why would you want to?
Why would you want to do your job from? That's fair enough. All right.
I mean, I can think of a couple of reasons, Joe. One, multitasking. Two, go ahead.
You have a job that's so important and so encompassing that you can't take 5 minutes.
All right.
To you know what I'm saying?
I was on the phone with an airline a couple of weeks ago, and I could have swore I heard the echo of a bathroom. I'm thinking, this guy's on the commode while he's changing my reservations.
So you were on the phone with an airline,
Yeah.
and you're pretty sure the guy was in the bathroom? I guess if he had like a laptop computer or something.
I called my internet provider.
They just log into their system. They could be on a Wi-Fi tablet or computer doing your reservation.
Everything is off of a laptop now. I called my internet provider. They helped me reset my router at the house, and I could have swore she was like walking through her kitchen at the time.
A lot of stuff. Listen, I know people that do like Verizon support. Yeah. They work right out of their home. They work in like in a bedroom out of their home. You call like Verizon support, and for cell service, and if you're talking to somebody, they might be literally sitting in their living room or sitting in a bedroom. So technically, they could be on their toilet.
I have a friend who does Apple support. When you call Apple, he's like the Apple helpline, and he does it from a recliner. He says this is a recliner all evening and just takes calls.
I used to know a traffic guy did that.
You know what? And I have no problem with that. Working from home, great, more power to you. As long as you can focus on what you're doing and doing your job, that's great. But I think a line should be drawn when you're going to the commode to do your job. That's ridiculous.
Joe, I have to.
Whatever you're doing, whatever customer you're serving, is that person that you're dealing with getting your focus?
Joe.
Well, listen, I think that it's sort of a euphemism also. Now, what I think there are some people that probably do their job when they're on the toilet, But I think it's more like I can do my job from anywhere. I can even do my job on the toilet. And since the pandemic, we've been moving more and more toward that. And you know how many jobs will probably never return to the office? Which I don't think that's good for society. I don't think that's good for our psyche. I just don't think it's good for the natural order of things. So
it's fun to interact with people.
Yeah. Hey, Joe, thanks for the call. I appreciate it.
No offense. I have to disagree with Joe. On the commode is when my focus is laser sharp.
Can you stop calling it a commode? It's a bathroom.
I don't like calling it a toilet 100 times.
It's a turlet.
All right, guys, I have a really, really weird story. I don't want to offend anybody here. This is just a very odd, and I don't understand this. This is fact-based. This is out of Houston. This is out of Houston, Texas. A custodian, this is like our second janitor or custodian story.
Yesterday we had some.
Exactly. We had a custodian story yesterday.
2 creepy custodian stories.
We had one of the stories yesterday. We had the custodian story where the guy was like videoing students in the locker room and the bathroom, and he was doing it for like 10 years before he finally got caught. All right, today's custodian story.
And you forgot about the custodian who married the student that he met when she was 10 years old or something like that, waited 10 years or started dating her.
Was it marriage?
I don't know.
No, it wasn't marriage.
Yesterday, hold on.
It was a custodian that was like an elementary school custodian, and then years later reached out to a student and said, tried to make contact with the student when they were an adult all the years later after they were like an elementary student. That's just creepy and weird. All right, you ready for this could be a new segment on the show. Creepy custodians. This is a custodian at a Houston medical office arrested after allegedly urinating in a water bottle belonging to a coworker, and then the coworker contracted an STD.
Oh.
Now, hang on a minute. How does that happen? I mean, how do you whiz in a bottle and then the coworker contracts an STD?
So did the coworker drink what was in the bottle, or just drink out of the bottle? I mean, this is getting gross.
That's what happened to all the people who drank the bath water from that OnlyFans girl. They all got sick.
Hold on, what's that story?
You told it.
Remember the Belle Delvine?
Oh, yeah.
She sold her bath water.
That's right.
And people are like, I don't feel good.
Some like cam model, some OnlyFans model sold her she was mailing out little vials of
tub water,
and guys were drinking it. What is wrong with you? Why would you do that?
Freaky, man.
I can think of a couple of reasons why you would.
All right, so this came to light, and then a whole bunch of other victims came out of the woodwork, and they're being tested as well. So 11 other victims have come forward to say, this I think happened to us, and they're being tested. The victim began bringing in her own store-bought water bottles every day after getting water from the dispenser in the office back in August that tasted and smelled funny. If she didn't finish her water during the workday, she would leave it on her desk to drink the following day. As the days went by, the woman noticed that the water that she had been bringing in herself started to smell and taste funny as well. This is also like a little warning.
Ugh.
I mean, you just got to be careful out there.
How do you not recognize this smell?
You think that your office and your cubicle and you think it's a safe space, you might have some sicko. Everyone has somebody that's a little off in the office, right?
Always.
Always somebody, something weird, something's going on over there. So the lady started to realize that even her own water bottles were starting to smell and taste funny.
Okay, maybe they smell. You know what? You know how when you drink a lot of coffee and then the pee smells like coffee?
Roxanne,
Ew,
really?
Roxanne, are you nuts?
No, I'm sorry. I don't drink. I don't know what that means. All right.
Oh.
So what I'm saying is maybe that's why she didn't pick up on it right away. She just thought it was more of coffee flavor.
Okay.
I don't know what you're saying, but
that's okay.
Right.
So the guy tinkled a little bit in the water bottle to where she couldn't tell right away, but as it rotted.
Listen, do you have to be that descriptive? What are you saying?
What is this?
This story is so gross in and of itself.
As the days went by, the woman noticed that the water that she had been bringing started to taste and smell nasty.
Right.
But she could never figure out what it was, according to the court documents. When a coworker offered to make her a coffee in September, just last month, she asked them if they could use water from her bottle instead of the dispenser due to the smell. Her coworker looked at the water bottle and noticed that it looked a little yellow. So wait a minute.
What's the matter with her?
Hold on. You're telling me that the coworker noticed that the water in her bottle looked yellow?
And she didn't notice it, and she's drinking it and smelling it and tasting it?
I mean, what is going on here?
Are you using lemonade packs?
So,
Just put a little Mio in there, tasted it, covered it right up.
I felt disgusted. The victim wanted to remain anonymous, did an interview with KHOU television in Houston. I raised it to my face, and she said, smelled like pee. Well, how did you not realize this before?
I'm colorblind, and I have no sense of smell.
A doctor for the victim conducted a urinalysis on the water, confirming that, it was exactly what she had feared. And when the victim told other coworkers what had happened, one woman said that the same thing happened to her. The victim set up a hidden camera in the office that caught the custodian, Lucio Catarino Diaz, rubbing his genitals on the water bottle. So here you've got employees at this business in their cubicles, in their offices. They've got water bottles. And after everyone's gone and he's doing his custodian stuff and cleaning the place at night, he's wanging their bottles.
Oh.
What is going on here?
That's completely disrespectful to the bottle.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So she provided video and 2 water bottles to the Houston police. The cops confronted Diaz. He confessed, claiming that he did it out of malicious intent and that it was a sickness. Oh, God, this guy's going to now what? He's going to plead some insanity or mental issues here?
You don't think he has mental issues?
Diaz told police that he had done something similar at a previous job where he'd worked for 8 months.
Well, that's kind of a specific thing. How similar was it? Like either you...
He said he couldn't recall how many times he had done this before and was not aware that he had any STDs. Lab results confirmed that the victim had contracted an STD that she had not previously had. And Diaz tested positive for the same disease as well as a second one, but they don't say what it is. So what kind of disease? I mean,
it doesn't mention the STD.
Yeah,
it doesn't say which STD it is by this guy kind of peeing in the bottle and putting his junk on the water bottle. But what can you contract? What STD can you get it that way? It's like, you don't get gonorrhea from a toilet seat, that.
Right.
Did you get the herp?
I don't know. But I told you this was a weird kind of grossish story, but hey, we bring you a smorgasbord here on the MJ Morning Show.
Monkeypox.
I don't know what it is, but no, that monkeypox is not. Is that? I know that it's transmitted. I know that monkeypox tends to be through intimate contact, but I don't know. Is monkeypox considered an STD? I don't think so. Or
just put a C where the P is, and it.
We stop it. Come on. All right, that's enough. Enough of you.
I just Googled, although theoretically possible, it's incredibly unlikely that you get an STD from a toilet seat. So
that's why I don't bother wiping.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. So what is the deal with the water bottle? I don't understand that.
So why do people wipe down seats so crazily? I just leave it.
Yeah, it's psychological.
I look for glows, and then if not, I'm good.
Or like those the little thin like toilet seat protectors and all that.
Ends up going the wrong area.
It just makes people feel better. It's all psychological.
Yeah.
I think I solved this crime, but I don't want to say it out loud.
Hold on, you think you solved the crime?
Real Nancy Drew over here.
Angela Lansbury would be more appropriate.
I got Nancy Poo over here.
Oh.
Hey, Fester, Roxanne, Froggy, you guys all have little kids. All right, moving along here.
Yeah.
You guys have little kids. Froggy?
Yes, I have little kids.
Are you guys going to take your kids to the Booze and Bubbles over at the Clearwater Marine Aquarium?
Booze and Bubbles? How irresponsible is that? Booze and Bubbles?
It sounds like fun.
Wait, I'm just thinking Whitney Houston.
or Anna Nicole Smith.
Or Michael Jackson.
Guys.
Bubbles is his monkey,
Guys,
right?
no. It's booze as in boo.
Oh, like Halloween.
Oh, come on.
I thought it was like an alcohol
No,
event.
it's. Did they think of this? Over at the Clearwater Marine Aquarium, did they think of maybe Booze and Bubbles?
I love the Clearwater Marine Aquarium.
Yeah. Listen, they do a great job over there. But the name of their event, like I think it's through the end of the month. Booze. It's BOOS, as in a ghost going boo.
Hey, baby, I think I found the perfect event for us and the family. It's called Booze and Bubbles.
We're gonna let the dolphin watch the kids and we're gonna get drunk.
Hey, Roxanne, take your 2.5 and 5-year-old to the Clearwater Marine Aquarium. They've got mimosas for the kids. They've got whiskey shots for the kids. Yeah, it's booze.
It's my kind of party.
Yeah, folks, it's BOOS. It's not BOOZE.
It sounds like whiskey and champagne or something.
All right, so according to the website, it happens the 29th, which is Saturday from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Clearwater Marine
I'll
Aquarium.
be there. I'll definitely be there.
Booze and Bubbles. But
I'm just going to scream, boo.
What kind of bar closes at 8 p.m.?
No, but when you say it, booze, and it sounds like you're talking about liquor. Hey, a great kids event at the aquarium. Get your kids all smashed on liquor. Fireball.
Where's the bubble? I guess you're going to be shooting bubbles everywhere? Is that the bubble?
Well, bubbles because it's the ocean. Bubbly.
You're only allowed if you're a bubble boy?
I think maybe they have bubble machines.
I don't know.
And it's the water. So, you think of fish and
I don't care what it is. I'm definitely
You think of dolphins and bubbles and all that stuff.
Yeah,
I'll fight a dolphin.
The bubbles on their blowhole.
Yeah.
I'll punch his dolphin right in the face.
Hey, dolphin, you looking at me?
What you got a big old...
You looking at me, dolphin?
I'll plug that stupid hole in your back that doesn't even do nothing.
I'll take you and that bitch seal over
All right,
there,
guys,
and I'll take both your asses.
Don't call my seal.
Guys, it's not a drunk event.
Don't call my seals a bitch.
Guys, it is not a drunk event at the Clearwater Marine Aquarium.
And speaking of seal, kissed by a rose on the grave.
Listen, I don't want to be too forward, but you are the best looking octopus in this whole place.
You've got so many tentacles.
Oh my god!
I just want to eat your tentacles.
You say tentacles?
How many tentacles do they have?
We're flirting with octopuses.
All right, guys.
How many suction cups are in each testicle?
I'm sorry I brought this up.
Octopuses have 8 testicles.
Hey, 10 tentacles.
I'm drunk. I don't know.
Ms. Octopus, I just want you to know you just gave me the 9th.
Oh, all right, guys. Guys,
that's too much.
Guys, I'm moving along.
That's too much.
I'm sorry I brought this up.
I'm out of here.
Jeez.
I want to go.
All right, Fester.
Yep.
Are you telling me that the buddy of yours that lets you use his HBO Max or Paramount Plus passwords, you're telling me that his car almost burned down in that fire at a pumpkin patch in Texas?
All right, so yeah.
Wow. What? Oh, guys, this is crazy. 73 cars. They were at a pumpkin patch in Texas. 73 cars destroyed. They think that a patron, some parent, some mom or dad bringing their kids to the pumpkin patch on Saturday, they think that one of the patrons was smoking, tossed the lit cigarette, done with the cigarette, tossed it on the ground. But the parking lot area was all like crunchy, dead, dry, brown grass. And somebody threw a cigarette butt down, lit the grass on fire. Before you know it, the whole field, the whole parking lot is on fire. 73 cars burned to the ground.
So on Sunday, I get a text message from my favorite listener, Kyle,
who
lives in Texas,
who lets Fester use his Paramount Plus and HBO Max password.
Oh, you got Paramount from it? Can I borrow that? I want to see the Army Hammer thing.
I can add your account on Kyle's account.
So tell me what Kyle said.
So right here. Here's the text exchange. He sends me the link at 3:03 in the afternoon on Sunday.
He sends you the story about the massive fire at the pumpkin patch.
And honestly, I thought it was a fringe story. I didn't know if we'd get to it or not, so I really wasn't that. But then he tells me this detail.
This is Temple, Texas.
Yeah,
So-
he lives in Temple.
Temple, Texas, fire broke out at the Robinson family farm. 73 vehicles destroyed. I mean, gone. So he sends Fester a link to the story with the text that says, I left this pumpkin patch not 15 minutes before the fire started. So he was there.
Yeah.
That is, he was actually at the pumpkin patch.
Whoa.
You ought to see the video on this thing. Hey, Andrew, put this thing up on stories we mentioned up at mjmorningshow.com. Put this up. Parking lot fire. Are you listening to the show? He's like, what should I put up? We've been talking about this for 5 minutes.
Every time I go to
you can find it. It's all over the place. Yeah. So parking lot fire destroys 73 vehicles at this Texas pumpkin patch.
Think about when you go to a pumpkin patch. There's always a bunch
Are you
of
still
those.
drunk at the aquarium?
Yeah.
Hey, you want to go to a pumpkin patch? Come
There's
here,
always a
big boy.
bunch of hay bales.
There's hay bales. I mean, the parking lot essentially was on hay. It was dried grass.
That whole place was ready
Yeah.
to burn. But that's unbelievable that a friend of the show could have had his car burned to the ground.
A friend of the show, a best friend of Fester because he gives me his Paramount Plus.
All right, now I'm thinking it's time for a classic crotchety call. However, I feel a little, I guess, torn here because I saw a story and I'm like, you know what? I should probably do a crotchety old man call here. There's a story out of Pennsylvania. An 81-year-old guy working for a tree company was run over by one of their bulldozers. So, wait a minute. What is an 81-year-old guy doing working for a tree removal company?
Where's my hard hat?
What, 81 years old and you're out in next to bulldozers?
Dude, I have an old neighbor who helps like a yard company. He's like, oh, it makes me feel young. I'm like, screw you, old man.
Anyway, listen, when I heard about this 81-year-old and he was run over by a bulldozer, it did not end well. What crotchety old man classic call fits this bill?
I met
this one?
Jones Heavy Equipment.
Oh, thank God you've answered. Who is this?
This is Bob.
Bob, I rented one of your bulldozers. I'm on it right now, and it's out of control. Holy crap. I just plowed into a Buick.
Yep.
How do I turn this thing off? Holy gee, I just ran into another car. I was plowing a lot in my residential neighborhood, and it's gone completely out of control.
Sir.
What? Holy... I just ran over somebody's gazebo.
Sir, which model is it? Which model bulldozer?
It was a Caterpillar.
Yeah?
D6. D6. And it's out of control. Hold on a sec. I'm crashing through somebody's house. All I can say is thank God I had a cell phone with me. Okay. I'm out on the street now.
Turn off the ignition.
What?
Turn off the ignition. It's right there on the dash.
I tried. The key snapped off in the ignition. It's all bent up. It won't shut off. Holy... shit. Oh, I'm here. I just hit another car.
Sir, there's a kill switch in it on your left.
I'm trying.
Hit the kill switch. Sir, hit the kill switch.
I'm trying. Nothing is happening. Nothing. I just ran over another tool shed. There are some Girl Scouts selling cookies up ahead. Girl, get out of the way. Get out of the way.
Are they okay? Did you hit them?
No, I ran over their stand. I crushed their their lemonade and cookie stand like a bug, but they're okay. I see them behind me. Okay, how do I turn this thing off?
There should be a kill switch right on the left. Just push the button in.
Wait, right here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I got it. Tractor's off.
Sir, what is your name?
My name is Milton Fludge Cow. I rented this yesterday to do a small plowing job in my yard, and now it's turned into my worst nightmare. What kind of defective equipment are you people renting?
Defective equipment?
Yes,
you shouldn't even be operating that.
You schmucks rented me defective equipment. I'm gonna file a report, and I'm gonna sue your ass off. It's gonna be Fludge Cow's Bulldozer rental by the time I get through with you.
I'm calling the cops on you right now. Goodbye.
And to the 81-year-old guy run over by the bulldozer in Pennsylvania, first, I have to again ask, why was an 81-year-old dude working for a tree removal company in the first place working next to a bulldozer that ran him over? All right, that's number one. But rest in peace. But I couldn't pass up the opportunity for the classic bulldozer call. All right, when we get back, hey, there's an update. You remember the story we did yesterday about the woman in the middle seat? And she had two very heavy passengers like squishing her on either end? There is a big update on the story. Hold on. Next on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Stand by. Do you have a plan B? When your air conditioning... Morning Show, Q105, MJ and the crew here, 8:53. And we have an update. And it involves the woman on the American Airlines flight. She was like on a 3-hour flight. Roxanne, do you remember where it was? Was it Miami or where was she flying from?
I'm still trying to find it.
Yeah, I had it yesterday. Fessy, do you remember the lady on the American Airlines flight? Where was she flying to and from? It was in the original story. So you don't know where it was?
I don't remember the location.
Right.
I remember her name was Dr. Sydney Watson.
Yeah.
And she was Australian.
Right.
And she.
Well, she's an Australian political commentator, but she's here in the United States, and she stirred up this whole huge issue. So she's on this American Airlines flight. It was about a 3-hour flight, and she was wedged in between two very big people. And she said that, like, their sides, like their rolls and everything. It was just like it was touching her. Everything was touching her. So she's in the middle seat, and it turned out that the two passengers flanking her in the window seat and okay, so it's Andrew says it was New York to Dallas. So it was American Airlines from New York to Dallas, Texas. And it turned out that she's stuck in the middle seat. The window seat and the aisle seat were occupied by relatives. So these were two obese relatives, and she's jammed in the middle. She goes on social media and starts this firestorm. This was like a whole big thing on Twitter and Reddit and just all over the place. This is being discussed. And some people were like screaming at her for body shaming people and how dare you. Well, there's an update here. Because originally, you remember the airline. Remember American Airlines, originally, they kind of came down on her. But now she revealed yesterday that there was kind of a stunning change here. So Sydney Watson, she's a conservative commentator, an Australian-American political journalist. I'm not familiar with her work, but she claimed on Twitter, and this was discussed all over Reddit as well, that she was, and this is the quote. So on Twitter, she originally wrote that she's been wedged between two obese people on the flight. And she said it was absolutely not acceptable or okay. Now, originally, American Airlines, they came out with a statement saying that they don't discriminate against passengers' different body types. American, they wrote on social media, our passengers come in all shapes and sizes. We're sorry you were uncomfortable on your flight. Then Watson now has this big update. She says that she was contacted by American Airlines yesterday, and it appears like American Airlines is doing a little bit of a flip, a flop, a flippy to the flippy, the flip, the flop. Don't flop the hop to the flop, flippy to flip. You all right over there, Frog? You're just sneezing up a storm.
I'm good.
You all right? All right, so American Airlines sent her a letter. And, Fessy, you've got the letter here, right?
I do, and it's amazing.
Yeah, the letter on the screen is a little bigger than the letter on my printed thing here. So this is dated the 17th.
Was that 2 days ago?
Yeah. She said she got it yesterday, though. So today is, Wednesday. She claims she got this yesterday on Tuesday. And it says, hello, Dr. Watson. Through the courtesy of our social media team, I have received your correspondence regarding the experience on your recent flight. I sincerely regret the enjoyment and comfort of your flight, AA and then the number, was diminished due to another customer exceeding their seat space. Oh, is that the way you put it?
That's a nice, yes.
So a fat customer that is just leaking over and just, bleeding over and just, so exceeding their space. I guess that's the politically correct way to put it.
Are you a seat space exceeder?
Yeah. We do our best to avoid uncomfortable situations regarding seats. I can understand your disappointment with the situation not being remedied to your satisfaction. Based on what I have read, Dr. Watson, it seems that our flight attendants were not able to make changes to the seating arrangement. I'm sure in the future you're always welcome to discuss the matter with our flight attendants. If we have other seats available, you'll be allowed to move so that you can better enjoy your flight. As a gesture of goodwill,
all right, here's the good part.
I have issued you a $150 trip credit, which will arrive via a separate email. Trip credits are valid for 12 months from the date of issue and can be used to purchase travel on American or American Eagle for yourself or a friend or a relative. If you prefer, you can book your ticket online at aa.com or call our reservations team at 800-433-7300.
Huh? $150?
Yeah, where will that get you?
Well, that might get you, a full fare somewhere. I mean, you or maybe half a fare, depending on where you're flying.
This woman just successfully destroyed American Airlines for 3 days in social media, and they gave her $150.
Hold on, I don't think she destroyed American Airlines. I don't think it was not American Airlines' fault that there were two.
Okay, they were named in every article.
I realize that, but you don't hear anymore. I don't know why this is, but I don't really hear much about very large passengers being required to buy 2 seats. Is that like canceled now? Is the whole woke situation? Has that changed? Because there was a time not long ago, I mean, 5 to 10 years ago, airlines were making very large passengers buy a second seat.
Or is it airline specific?
I
think certain airlines do it.
I remember
others don't.
Southwest Airlines.
Yeah, there was a case with Southwest, and I don't know what the policy is these days. What the story is. But you want me to? I've got a buddy who's a Southwest pilot. I mean, I actually have several buddies that are Southwest pilots.
What, do you only hang out with pilots? What's going on
here? That's it.
No, I just happen to have several buddies that are Southwest pilots. I mean, but it seems though you're not hearing as much about passengers being required to buy 2 seats. You know what? Let's go to phones. Let's ask the question. First of all, what are your thoughts of this woman being wedged between 2 very heavy, large passengers, and they were like totally touching her? Their bodies were leaking over from their allotted seat space, and she was, I mean, all of their sides and everything was just touching her. She was like clamped in like you're gluing something in a vise, on the bench in the garage. So my thoughts are, first of all, she was accused of body shaming the heavy people next to her. But if you buy a ticket, should you have the other passengers on both ends, bookends, jamming you in and having their mass encroach and touch you? I mean, I don't think that's expected. I understand that people come in all shapes and sizes. I get it. A skinny listener is just as important as a big listener to me. I don't care who you are, but if you're on an airplane, I don't think it's reasonable to expect, if you're in a middle seat, that you're not going to have both passengers next to you at the window and the aisle, totally touching you because their bodies are so large.
Something to note about this story is that the 2 passengers knew each other as well, so they could
That's
have
what
made her flight
I said that
a
earlier.
little more enjoyable.
I said that earlier,
right.
that the 2 big people were relatives, and they were on the bookends, and she was in the middle. All right, let's go to phones on this. Couple of questions. First of all, were you angry the fact that this lady put out this original story on social media where she said, and this is what she wrote. This is what got people really ticked off. She wrote, if you need a seatbelt extender, you are too fat to be on a plane. That's what she wrote. Now, I don't necessarily agree with that. Now, you can be heavy and need a seatbelt extender. I mean, Fester, you use a seatbelt extender.
I carry my own.
I don't think you're too fat to be on a plane.
Thank
you.
But
also, are you able to contain yourself and not touch other passengers that are next to you?
Well, we can demonstrate it right now.
So usually.
No, listen, you just pull, Roxanne, you pulling your seat next to Fester, that doesn't replicate an airline. What are you doing?
Roxanne's looking to get groped this morning, I think.
That's it, exactly.
Roxanne has just moved right next to Fester.
I'll along with her. There we go.
I'm just trying to demo this.
You can't replicate the same conditions.
I actually disagree with that because these seats that we're sitting in right now are pretty much standard seats that you would sit in on a flight.
Nah.
So let's
bring it over, Rox. Come on.
Because the seats are no.
There we go. I'm all over her now.
Oh, jeez. Don't touch her.
All right. So, no, MJ.
Are you looking to get touched today? Is that it? Why are you next to...
No, I'm looking to do a scientific experiment.
Yeah, with office chairs.
It's for science.
Tell you what, let's go buy a row of airline seats and we'll try that. All right, 800-990-1047. Let's go to phones. So first of all, how do you feel about the woman that made the statement that if you need a seatbelt extender, you're too fat to be on a plane? So how do you feel about that? How do you feel about saying she's wedged between two obese people on the flight and it's not acceptable? All right, so how do you feel about people that are next to you and if they are touching you? Let's say, I think we've all sat next to people that are large. And sometimes, people can't help it if they're large. Other times, if they just, shut their pie holes and get on a treadmill, that would change things as well. So, but how do you feel about the original story? And American Airlines came out and sort of chastised her, but now we find out that they've done a reversal, and now they're apologizing for her situation and the conditions on our flight, and now they've given her a $150 travel voucher.
All right, this is the most half-assed apology ever. It's like, I'm sorry you felt inconvenienced, and here's $150.
And they kind of said it the way they said it. Oh, I hope you enjoy your flight. If you're ever on a flight and not enjoying it, no, I mean it's not about enjoyment. It's about being in a place where I have enough personal space.
All right, but again, what happened to the airlines? This was like a big deal, like maybe 10 years ago. It was like a big deal that airlines were going to make large people buy two seats, and it's like you don't hear about that. And if anyone's listening, are you a large person? Have you spilled over into other seats? I mean, if you want to talk about it, I'd love to hear from you. Or have you been on a flight where somebody did have to buy two seats? Have you witnessed that recently? Or if you're a large person, have you ever had to buy two seats? Or has the airline ever told you, hey, you're too large for the seat? All right, any of these questions or any observation, look, every line is jammed here. Every line is packed. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Let's start with Ann in Tampa. Hello, Ann. Welcome to the MJ Morning Show on Q105.
Yes, good morning. This happened. My husband put on a lot of weight, and some of these airlines, the seats seem narrower than others, and Southwest is one of them. And he had to squeeze in there. He had to get the belt. I was more than willing to pay that extra seat for the sake of convenience. I usually, I'm overweight, but I don't pour out into other seats.
So you're saying that your husband poured out into the other seat?
I can.
So Ann, your husband poured out into the other seat?
He did.
I guess Ann puts it in a very descriptive way. I think that's what I was trying to. I think I was hunting around for how to say that, but Ann came pouring out into the other seat. That really describes it. All right, so
exactly.
What happened? What was the story with your husband?
Well, they gave him the extension, and somebody sat there. I sat in the across from there because I needed. I sit in the aisle so that I can. All
right, so you did not even sit next to your husband?
No, for the same reason. And whoever sat there, it was some skinny person, and then it was a heavy one. Same scenario on the aisle seat. He sat near the window so that he can lean closer. There's a little space between the seat and the window.
How's your husband doing these days?
He's still heavy. And I'm like, well, as long as we fly together.
What do you think your husband weighs? What kind of number are we talking here?
Well, he's 5'10", and he weighs about 270.
That's not terrible.
No, that's not bad.
Yeah.
No, but you know what? He carries it in his.
Yeah.
He carries it in the middle. So that's the problem right there. If it was in his legs, but it's right in the middle. And
Gotcha.
Southwest has the most narrowest seats.
All right.
Yeah.
So Ann brings up a great point. I found a list off of fattyboombalatti.com.
We just stopped
and
fester.
5 best airlines for fat people.
Are you kidding me?
5 best airlines for fat people and 3 to avoid.
Okay.
Is that a real website?
Hold on. This is from a website called Executive Flyers.
Okay, so it's not fattyboombalatti.
And
that was funny.
it's executiveflyers.com, and the headline is 5 best airlines for overweight passengers and 3 to avoid. All right.
All right, so number 1, JetBlue. They have wide seats.
They have good seat pitch, so meaning the rows are not jammed together. There's more space in between rows on JetBlue.
The seats are good size and the pitch is right.
Okay, all right.
2 is Delta, same scenario.
Okay.
3, Air Canada.
Yeah, I flew Air Canada to Haneda, to Tokyo.
I will not be going to Winnipeg anytime soon, so I won't be using that. American Airlines comes in at number 4. Spirit Airlines at number 5.
Are you serious?
Well, someone just texted me that they do charge you if you're overweight on Spirit. Is that true?
They've got a scale at the gate.
All Spirit aircrafts have a width of 20-inch seats and a 36-inch pitch. And then bad airlines for fat people, 1, United. 2,
Southwest. Look at that.
There it
and
is.
then 3 is Sun Country.
I've never been on Sun Country.
Oh, it's lovely.
You've been on Sun Country?
No.
All right.
I've never even heard of Sun Country.
No, I've heard of Sun Country. I think they fly out of PIE, right?
Do they?
Or do they fly out of Tampa? I've seen them.
Never
All
seen
right.
them.
All right, let me go back to phones are jammed. Hey, Ann, thanks for the call. Have a great day, okay?
You too. Thank
All right. I hope your husband, loses some weight, okay?
Okay.
All right. I'm sorry. What am I going to say?
You just said bye.
All right. Eric's in Tampa. Hey, Eric, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Yes, Eric, go ahead. You're on.
Hey, so my wife and I were traveling. It wasn't Delta. I'm 5'10", 300 pounds, so yeah, I'm overweight.
Yeah, you're
and I've found out it also depends on the plane that you're flying on.
I bet.
First flight, we fit the seatbelts perfectly fine, and then the next flight was actually a little bit smaller of a plane, and we had to get the seatbelt extenders.
Oh, wow.
So it may not be and it may be the plane they're using, actually.
All right, now, Eric, when you travel, do you, as the previous caller Ann said, do you pour into the seat next to you?
No, I don't. But if I'm got stuck in the center seat, I usually try to sit with my arms in front of me so that I don't interfere with other people.
So you're a courteous passenger, is what you're saying.
Well, it's my fault I'm overweight. I'm just lazy and don't want to exercise.
Most honest call of the day here. Look at this. All right.
But my thing with the lady, with the doctor, you got to look at it this way. When she went on to get her seat, you can't tell me there was 3 empty seats. She chose the middle one. That means those 2 people knew that they were going to be uncomfortable sitting next to each other, and that's why they split them.
Yeah, oh, exactly. They totally, the 2 relatives that were heavy, they totally split things up. That's why they took the 2 ends, and apparently it was a full flight. And
American gives you assigned seats.
Signed.
I mean, you log on. She bought the middle seat.
That's the other thing. You don't know when you have a seat assigned to you. Let's say she was a middle seat, so she was row 17B as in Bravo. She didn't know that she was going to have the McGuire twins sitting next to her.
She had no clue.
All right, buddy. Thanks for the call, Eric.
All right, thank you.
All right, Tammy's next in Winter Haven. Hey, Tammy, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hi, good morning. So about 4 years ago, we flew to Vienna, and in the airplane that we were in, there was 3 rows of seats, but there were 4 in the middle, and my husband and I were in the middle of those middle seats. And the lady who sat next to me she was a larger lady, and not only was she a larger lady, she smelled bad. So sitting next to me, I tried to put the armrest between the 2 of us, and she said, "Please don't do that because it squeezes my thighs." So I was like, okay, I'll get through this a little bit. So this is an 8-hour flight.
So this is an 8-hour flight from, New York or Atlanta to Vienna?
We went from Texas to Vienna.
Okay, go ahead.
So during this flight, she smells bad. Her legs are touching mine the whole time. And she keeps falling asleep and falling on top of me.
Oh, my God.
No. Did she smell like sausage?
Oh.
She smelled like all kinds of stuff.
Rotting sausage.
No.
So this was the most miserable flight I have ever been on. And
were there any other seats to move to, or was every seat on the plane filled?
There was 1 seat, and I didn't want to leave my husband, but I couldn't deal with her anymore, so I asked the attendant if I could move, and they told me that I couldn't.
What airline was it?
I don't remember now, honestly.
Why couldn't you move?
I don't know. She wouldn't let me move.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense.
It's almost where you can't ask and you just tell them you have to move. You just start throwing up everywhere.
All right, Tammy, thanks for the call. I'm sorry you went through that. Have a great day. Charlie is in Lakeland. Charlie, you're on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Welcome.
How you doing?
Doing well.
Hey, I was flying Nashville to Dallas about 10 years ago, and I'm a pretty good-sized guy. I'm 6'2" at about 250. Well, I was sitting next to a young lady who was probably 20 years old, and she had to go about 450.
Yeah.
Hold on, whoa. You had a woman next to you. She was 20 years old and 450 pounds?
Exactly. And guess what? It's July. We're going to Texas, and the air conditioner on the plane wasn't working properly, and she had a leather jacket on.
Ew.
So I got a...
How many cows did that take?
I had my work attire on, and I had a meeting as soon as I got off the plane, and I sat on one butt cheek all the way from Nashville to Dallas. And I asked for a different seat because there was a flight attendant sitting in the back, and they said those are reserved for flight attendants. So when I got to my meeting, my back was killing me because I only sat on one butt cheek. Well, I called American Airlines, and they basically said, "Well, you should have said." So I said, "I did say something." So then I went all the way up to the president of American Airlines.
Wow.
I just figured, you know what? I usually don't complain, but I couldn't take it,
So what happened? What happened when you got to the president's office?
Well, they did. I think earlier somebody said they sent a $150 voucher. Well, they did, because I told them I only used half my seat, so you should at least reimburse me for half of it. So I sent it back to him, and I said, "This is totally unacceptable." And they eventually gave me a any place in the country voucher after 6 months of me irritating the out of them.
Wow. Hey, thanks, Charlie. Appreciate it. Millie is in Tampa. Hey, Millie, you're on the MJ Morning Show.
Good morning. I am a plus-size woman, and I carry my weight in the bottom half. And, excuse me, I only fly Southwest because they give you a second seat. They used to charge you for it, and then they would give you your second seat money back. But I get a second seat at no charge, and I also get to pre-board. So everybody wants to fly with me because they get to go on the plane first.
Wow. All right. So, Millie, hold on. When's the last time you traveled on Southwest?
May of this past year.
All right. So do you have to ask for a second seat, or how does this work?
When I go check in, I tell them I need a second seat.
Yeah, that was Southwest policy. You're right, Millie. You'd have to... when they first came out with it, the big people would have to buy the seat, and then if there were vacant seats, they would
reimburse you. All right.
Right.
All right. So what happens if what happens if the flight is jammed? Because flights these days, a lot of them are just sold out. What happens?
Well, I don't... Fortunately, I haven't had to experience that.
All right, but also, if you take two seats, the seats are somewhat contoured, and you got that little, like the metally gap in the middle. Is it uncomfortable sitting on the gap?
It is, but I'd rather be uncomfortable for myself than burden anybody else with my overweightness.
See, no, I mean, this is very considerate. You're a very considerate caller.
I try because I've been in that position where I have been pouring over a second seat, and the person next to me was highly uncomfortable, and so was I. And on a 4-hour flight that you don't even dare get up because everything, just like when you have on heels and you take them off, they don't go back in. Your feet don't go back in those heels when they're swollen. So
yeah, because when you travel at altitude, your feet naturally swell. That's why, if you notice, you take your shoes off on the plane and you try to put them off, put them back on at the end. It's like, hey, what, my feet swell? Yes, they did. Your feet swelled up at altitude. Hey, Millie, if you don't mind me asking, what do you clock in at?
Oh, you never ask a lady her weight.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's your age.
No, it's both.
It's both?
Yeah.
Oh.
All right.
I'm sorry, my age. I'm 50.
No. I guess it's both. You're not supposed to ask.
Neither
I
question
guess
is polite.
No, listen. I was just
not a matter of being polite. We're talking about fat people on airplanes. She called us.
Hold the Fester.
Millie, listen. You and we're from the same tribe.
Well, Fester, you are flat on the back. I, however, am not.
See, that's
so different tribes.
No. Hold on. We're all from the same tribe. That encompasses all kinds of beautiful round people. I am a tiny-assed man, but I carry all my
big-assed woman.
Yeah, I carry all my weight above my waist. That's what she said.
All right. Well, listen, I respect Millie. I respect your decision. I was just curious, what kind of weight requires you to want two seats or need two seats? That's the only reason why I was asking.
Would you be a 258 date?
No.
Are you a 350 nifty?
No.
Are you a 402 who?
What?
perhaps.
Okay, all right.
Now we're cooking with peanut oil.
Millie, if you can, Millie, I would just suggest if you can do anything for your health, I would just highly encourage it because I want you to be around to listen to the MJ Morning Show, okay?
I understand that. I'm working on it, but other than the obvious, according to my doctor, I'm incredibly healthy.
All right. Well, listen, Millie, thank you
Good
so
for
much
you.
for listening, and hopefully Fester did not offend you, nor did I.
A nice big old booty.
Jeez,
It takes a lot more to offend me.
Actually, Roxanne was the most offensive one right here at the end.
Exactly.
Roxanne, nobody
You're
needed
the
that
most
comment.
offensive on the show.
Nobody needed that comment from you, Roxanne.
Hey, Millie, thanks for listening.
Sexualizing everything.
Have a great day, y'all.
You too, Millie. All right, a couple more calls on this. T is, are you guys just mumbling over there to yourselves? All right, T is in St. Petersburg. Hey, T, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hello.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, T.
This same thing happened to me on an American Airlines flight to Dallas from Tampa back in 1998. And when I approached my middle seat row, and the guy sitting in the aisle was huge. And so before I even got in, he says to me, he goes, "Let me apologize ahead of time because I'm going to blow over into your seat."
I'm going to blow over. I saw.
What do we hear down?
Well, we got leaking over to the seat. We got pouring over. Now we're blowing over it. Okay, go ahead.
So I sat down, and the window seat was this huge, muscular guy. So I was in between two huge people. And so I said to the big guy, and I said, "Oh, no worries. I'll just put this armrest down." He said, "Oh, you can't do that." So this guy knew that if somebody sat next to him, that they were going to be uncomfortable. Anyway, I got up after the flight took off. I went back to the flight attendants, and I said, "I can't sit there this whole flight." They let me sit in the jump seat the whole flight.
I didn't know they were allowed to do that.
I mean, maybe 98.
They did.
In the late 90s,
Wow.
the protocol might have been a little different
Look
than
at
what it is
that.
now.
All
Should I
right.
call problem solvers on that plane?
T, thanks for the call. Have a great day.
I called American about it,
Yep.
and I got the same thing. "We sell you that seat." I said, "But I didn't get my whole seat, but you got that seat."
I gotcha. Hey, T, thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, one more call. Last one on this. Tyson is in Auburndale. Hey, Tyson, MJ Morning Show, you're up.
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, I was on a Delta flight years ago, and I didn't have a situation with the person, but there was an incident that happened that would relate to what you're talking to. And I don't know if you're familiar. They got those prop jobs, the twin prop jobs. They're a lot smaller planes.
Yeah.
This one had 2 seats on the right side and just single seat on the left side. Well, me and my dad were in the 2 seats beside each other, obviously because we bought our tickets to sit beside each other. Well, there was a lady that came in overweight. She was across from us in the single seat. Well, she didn't fit in the seat. Let's just put it that way. She was big. Well, the flight attendant made me and my dad move out of our seats so she could sit in our seats, our 2 seats. So we had to split up. So with what you're saying too about paying for tickets, I mean, obviously she didn't pay for 2 tickets. She was already on the plane. But they blamed it on a weight issue, saying that she needed to move from that side because it was too much weight.
Yeah, well, listen, I've been on planes where they've moved passengers to balance the plane. I have had that happen. And, sometimes they even put sandbags on planes to balance out the weight of the plane.
Yeah, I know they do the weight issues, but in my opinion, I mean, if you got single seats all on one side, I mean, wouldn't one person, 2 people, that wouldn't balance it out, I wouldn't think.
Yeah, even like it usually happens on smaller planes. Anyway, Tyson, thanks for the call, buddy. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Hey, have a great day. All right, speaking of planes, when we get back, we got the final bit of the MJ Morning Show. Final segment is next. Speaking of planes, did you hear about the snake on a plane from Tampa to Newark?
Oh my God, is this a joke? Was this a movie?
Guys, I'm telling you, this is not a joke.
Yeah, we went to the movie.
Guys, I never saw that movie. It
was terrible.
Yeah, I mean, we've got the sound effect of this.
I have had it with these mother snakes on this mother plane.
All right, a Tampa to Newark flight with a snake. All right, hang on. Like a local story here. Snakes on a plane, Tampa edition. All right, hold on. Next, plus a lot more on the MJ Morning Show in minutes here on Q105. Stand by. Hey. 105. All right, we got a lot to cram in the final chunk of the MJ Morning Show here, folks. Wednesday, and I'm not making this up, there is a snakes on a plane story from a United flight that originated right here in Tampa Bay. So from Tampa International Airport. I mean, it sounds like a joke. It sounds like, what was it, Samuel L. I never saw that movie, which the movie was awful. I got to imagine. Now, Froggy, you saw Snakes on a Plane, right?
I thought me and Fester did the movie sneak premiere together.
You probably did.
Yeah.
Fester,
We probably did.
Did you do it?
Many years ago. I don't. What year did that come out? Like 2004?
Yeah, it was a long time
I have
ago.
had it with these mother snakes on this mother plane.
It was a terrible movie.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The
terrible.
movie was awful.
Speak for yourself.
All right, now
I like bad movies.
Here's what happened. A United Airlines flight that left Tampa. So the flight left right here, Tampa International, United to Newark, New Jersey on Monday. As the flight was taxiing toward the gate, so they had landed, they left Tampa, 2-hour and 5-minute flight, whatever it was, up to Newark. They're taxiing to the gate at Newark. The plane landed at about 1:15 p.m., and as they're taxiing, people start screaming and shrieking up in the first class or the business class cabin. There is a snake slithering on the floor over customers' feet in the business class cabin.
The first thing you have to do is look at its shape of its head and see if it's a triangle shape, or you have to see if it's like a striped one. What's the rhyme about how you know it's friendly?
If it's brown, flush it down.
Yeah, liquor before hard, you're in the yard.
Red next to yellow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The red next to yellow poem.
Yeah. Can you get the actual thing? Yeah.
Excuse me, sir. Is this seat taken? Oh, God.
Do you mind if I slither right in here?
Are you guys done with the little snake hissing over here?
You guys are being so silly.
Yeah, Andrew.
Yeah, red touching black, safe for Jack.
Hold
red
on,
touching yellow.
Hold on. Start again. Go ahead.
Red touching black, safe for Jack. Red touching yellow, kill a fellow.
What if your name's not Jack? You're dead?
What if your name is Pete?
You're just dead.
All right. Here's the deal. United Tampa to Newark. There's a snake in the cabin. I mean, this is like snakes on a plane. Now, when the plane landed, all the passengers were like lifting up their feet, and the snake is just slithering through the cabin. They get to the gate, and the gate agents rush on, and they remove the snake. Now, how did they know that it wasn't a poisonous snake? I mean,
the way I just described. You look and see if it has a triangular head, or you see what color the stripes are.
Were they on their cell phones, like looking at like snake identification
Yeah.
websites? Hang on, I think it's a black mamba. Isn't that like the most deadly snake? What Quentin Tarantino movie was that in with the black mamba?
Oh, was
that Kill Bill 1?
Bill 1, yeah.
Kill Bill 1.
So I think what kind of snake did I say it was?
Hey, do you have the Kill Bill noise in there? The see if you have that, Andrew. Let me know if you have it. Say it was a garter snake. So it was ultimately identified as a garter snake that was on the flight from Tampa, but
that's no big deal.
But garter snakes are harmless. Listen, like I live in South Tampa. I see a black snake in my yard like every week or so. I see a black snake. I've had them run right across my feet.
Black racers.
Yeah. Also, recently I even posted this on my Instagram, and you got to scroll down a little bit. Maybe it's 2-3 weeks ago. There was a snake while I was walking the dogs. There was a snake that couldn't move. It was like slithering. It was doing the whole snaky snake thing, but it wasn't moving anywhere.
Was it dying?
No.
Mr. Snitch, can you help me?
But then I took a video, and I was with the dogs. I was walking the dogs. The dogs were barking ferociously at the snake. But then I posted the video, and then people were telling me that it wasn't actually a snake, that it was some kind of a lizard, that it was like a lizard snake.
Okay.
But it was on like a brick driveway of a house, and it wasn't moving. It was like doing all the slithery movements, but it wasn't going anywhere. I'm like, what's going on here? So if you want to check it out, just go to my Instagram, Certified MJ Radio. certified MJ Radio. But we have a mystery. We don't know where the snake came from. We don't know if it was a passenger snake that got loose, and then they wouldn't admit it was their snake. So we have no idea. They removed the snake, and that was it. But, I mean, this is a real, like, Tampa to Newark snakes on a plane deal.
I have had it with these mother snakes on this mother plane.
Yes, Andrew. Yeah. Oh, you got the Kill Bill noise? All right, here, go ahead. Snake on a plane. Snake on a plane. Black Mamba.
Sounds like snake at a rave. Okay, so
by the way, that noise, that sound, it's from that's like a 70s TV show. Is that like, I don't know, was that like Mod Squad or Mannix or something? I don't know, some show that was on. That noise, yeah.
I think that snake probably just coiled up in someone's carry-on bag and then just came out on the plane.
Yeah, hey, Fester found the video of the snake. Is the audio on? All right, go ahead.
He just kind of, you guys can't get him. I'm not going to let you get him. No. But what's
So those are my dogs. They're trying to get at the snake.
What's Snaky Snake doing? He's not very successful.
I mean, those are my dogs squealing, trying to get at the snake. And then people sent me messages that it's a glass snake, a.k.a. lizard.
Yeah, it's going to be a dead snake if it doesn't move.
And it said, love them, but don't pick them up because their tails easily come off. It's like a leper.
What?
Like lizards' tails come off easily, too.
Yeah.
What's up with your neighbor with like a coffee can muffler in the background?
I don't know. Someone was driving with that. It was probably an Uber delivery. No, seriously, it's probably an Uber Eats delivery.
Probably right.
Yeah. You know, I'm seeing much less Uber Eats delivery in the neighborhood. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if there's a big shift, but over the last couple of months, I'm seeing a drastic reduction as I walk my dogs during dinner hour after 6 p.m. I was seeing up to like a dozen Uber Eats or DoorDash.
Yeah.
I was seeing them all over the neighborhood. And then suddenly, over the last maybe month, 2 months, it seems that it has been slashed. I'm just not seeing as many food delivery deals as I used to see in the neighborhood. I don't know what's going on.
Out more. People are going out more.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
You know, I think lately there's been a cutback in expenses. Just watching where things are going in the next couple of months seems a little uncertain.
I am so excited about this because I've been sitting around since 1996 saying, when is there going to be a sequel to the movie Twister?
God, that movie's terrible.
It really is.
I
It's
know.
awful.
It's so cheesy.
Who the hell thinks we need a sequel to Twister? They are making a Twister 2 or whatever they're going to call it.
That movie sucks.
You know, it was a blockbuster. That movie made a lot of money.
We've got cows. Or...
Yeah. Who is the blonde woman
Helen
in there?
Hunt
I was going to say Jodie Foster.
No, Helen Hunt. It was Helen Hunt.
It was Helen Hunt.
Yes.
Seriously, they're making Twister 2. A long-awaited follow-up. Really? Long-awaited for who? Who's been waiting around, waiting for Twister Part 2 to come out since 1996? Raise your hand, please.
You know, a bunch of storm chasers are like, yes!
Remember they play like Van Halen and be like, yeah, dude, let's go. Let's go. Yeah. Philip Seymour Hoffman.
A representative for Universal said yesterday that it's confirmed that there's going to be a follow-up to Twister. Something we just do not need.
Oh my gosh, it's an F5.
The only way to make this movie, I mean...
The finger of God.
Yeah.
All right, before we get out of here, a couple of things interesting in the Tampa Bay area. A guy was arrested yesterday. Tampa police said that the guy drove his SUV into a business in that little old strip center at 3201 Southdale Mabry. It is the little older strip center, and it is just to the south of Bay to Bay. Hey, that's where the Wolfpack gun store used to be, Andrew, in that little...
Bob Thrasher,
yeah. The original Pachi's Pizza used to be in that shopping center.
Yeah, I know the area.
Yeah. So some guy drove his vehicle for no reason into the front of a business. Guy apparently smashed a blue GMC in the front window. The driver, Pavel Alex Terentev, 31, attempted to hit a woman standing outside the business.
Yeah, he's not a good guy. He was with a girlfriend and they had a domestic issue, and he's He's not a good guy.
What's going on? So you try to run somebody over and then put his vehicle through. What business did he run through, Fester?
So I tried to call almost every business in the plaza, and somebody picked up, and they said it was Thera Beauty.
Thera Beauty?
And I had the number for them, and they are not open yet.
The woman who knew the 31-year-old told law enforcement that they'd been fighting all day, even over here in St. Petersburg. And then I guess the fight continued over to South Tampa.
Started with St. Pete. They drove over the bridge. She got out of the vehicle. Then he tries to hit her and then hits the storefront.
My God. The police are saying he did it for no reason. But again, I mean, they were having an argument. So he tries to run her over and then puts his vehicle right in the front of this store. Yeah, people are nuts. I'm telling you, people are absolutely out of their flipping trees these days. I think that's going to do it. And I got a lot of stuff that we're going to carry over to tomorrow because I got another 2 hours of stuff we got to get to. But we'll call it quits here for the day. Anything else before we get out of here, ladies and gentlemen?
That is all.
That is all? All right, before we get out of here, let me just